Let's see. I got my breakfast. I got my coffee. What am I? Oh yeah, I got a kiss this morning. So my day is made, and now I get to do this. Let's go.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up?
Good morning. Snowman here to all you Brock Purdy and San Francisco 49er haters. Shut up! I gotta thank you, Shane.
I mean, whatever happened to the games where breaking 100 points was, I don't know, unusual?
There was one word to sum up the All-Star weekend.
Trays. Cause we take this job so serious.
Splash Brothers, yes. Ray Allen, replace him with Steve Kerr. Reggie Miller, yeah.
What in the all types of blue hell?
Oh, yeah! Cole is a genius. And thank you, Cole Johnson, for the brand new intro to close this week. And that will be the intro you will see forevermore. Good morning. I'm shaking my head too, and I got this just before we came on today. Welcome to the fabulous, fantastic football Friday edition of Snowman in the Morning. Glad to have y'all with us. The big dog Shane Lake over there is with us. And why are you shaking your head?
Cole, you evil bastard.
You know what's bad? I got these right before we went on the air. I just happened to check my email, and I see the new email from him, and then I get a message at the same time. You have gifts. Before we get started, I'm going to roll that sequence again. I have to. Y'all need to see the genius that is Cole Johnson. Take a look again.
do it, we'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up?
Good morning! Snowman here to all you Brock Purdy and San Francisco 49er haters. Shut up! I gotta thank you, Shane.
I mean, whatever happened to the games where breaking 100 points was, I don't know, unusual?
There was one word to sum up the All-Star weekend.
Trays. Cause we take this job so serious.
Splash Brothers, yes. Ray Allen, replace him with Steve Kerr. Reggie Miller, yeah.
What in the all types of blue hell?
That is evil.
Very, very evil.
That's just plain evil.
It is. It really is.
That's just plain evil. That's not right.
No, it's so far from right, man.
That's just not right.
Oh my God.
But you know what? It's Cole Johnson.
True.
It's the master executive producer.
Yeah, it is.
And he did that. Good grief.
Oh my God.
I thought he couldn't top the old opening that he sent.
Right.
I had never thought he could top the old opening. When I asked him in an email, how's it, because he's swamped. He's absolutely swamped. All right. I asked him in an email, how are things coming with the new intro? Have you ever sent someone an email and you can just feel their evil smile coming through?
You forgetting my normal day gig of being a sim racer? Yes, I know. Especially when I'm dealing with my paint shop.
Yep.
Trust me, I sense evil smiles a lot, and my paint shop has actually had a few of them, so I know.
Cole, thank you for this. Thank you. You are a genius. Like I sent him you are a genius. You a fool, but you a genius.
True.
You are a genius. Well, I got it started as my wife told me with something that none of us watch, and that's the play-in tournament.
None of us care about.
I don't even care who's playing. Okay? I don't care. What they need to do is do away with the play-in tournament. How about we start there? Do away with the play-in tournament. It needs to go.
What happened to just taking the 8 best teams from each division and letting them fight it out?
More
Seriously.
money. That's what happened.
Screw the money factor.
Adam Silver wanted more money. All right.
Isn't that why we have the Isn't that why we have the NBA Cup?
Oh God.
I mean, that is just a glorified participation trophy.
The NBA Cup. Really?
Well, I mean, it is a shadow realm for a majority of these teams.
Or the LeBron Invitational.
Either way.
I
mean,
they need to take the 9-10 seeds away and just go with the top 8 teams in each conference. I mean, that's what we have gotten used to, right?
It would make more sense. It would make absolutely more sense. Although granted, I really don't think either Pelicans, Kings, or Lakers would really want to see the Oklahoma City Thunder in the first round.
I want to
Same
see the
for
Oklahoma City Thunder go down. They're fraud. They're frauds. I said
well,
it. I said it early. I said it earlier in the week, and people thought I was crazy.
okay. So, do you really think the Kings or Pelicans could take down the Thunder in the opening round?
Yes. 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 I don't believe in OKC. I don't believe in Shea Gilgeous-Alexander for most valuable player of the league, which is what people have been talking about all year. And of course, people are going to come at me saying, well, you didn't watch the league all year. I know, but I know a fraud when I see it. And OKC is a bunch of frauds, period. I don't care what people say to me, about me, or whatever. I know what quality basketball is like. And OKC got lucky to get that number 1 seed. They will go down in the first round. I'm calling it here. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Okay? If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And I always say that. But
Okay, so
I
let's
don't
just
trust
say
OKC.
okay, let's just say for the sake of argument, we do get rid of the play-in games. The 7-8 seeds in the West would be Pelicans, Lakers, which means the Pelicans would get the Nuggets. The Lakers would have gotten the Thunder this year.
Mm-hmm.
Do we really give a crap about either one of those two matchups?
No. Because both lower seeds would get obliterated.
Yeah, we know that. I mean, it doesn't change
Who gives a flying damn?
Okay, so then let's just, for the sake of argument, flip it to the East then. The Sixers would get the Knicks. That doesn't change.
No.
And the Heat would get the pleasure of playing the number
Boston
one
Celtics.
seed of the overall Boston Celtics.
That would be quick. You know what they need to do? Shrink the first round to 5 games.
Didn't we do that in the 90s?
Man, that was the first series was 5 games back in the 80s.
Yeah, and wasn't that the same way in the 90s? First round was best of 5.
It was the first round was the best of 5 all the way up until 2003, when David Stern wanted to squeeze more money from this cow, and she's a cow.
Yes, she is,
and extend the first round to 7 games, which I believe is stupid.
We all know the majority of these matchups how they're going to end. Celtics are going to buzzsaw the Heat straight.
My gosh. Even if it's the Bulls, because the play-in games are tonight. Even if it's the Bulls,
they're going to get buzzsawed.
They're going to get blown to smithereens, man.
We know the Knicks are going to demolish the Sixers. I mean, the Knicks weren't playing that well down the stretch, but it's Philly. It's Joel Embiid. I see that if it's not a sweep, it's a gentleman's sweep.
It's a sweep. I don't. What do I often say? I want anarchy.
And then
I want blood.
Okay, we got the 4-5 Cavaliers Magic. Who cares?
They both suck. Can we give them both L's?
Off to the NBA Cup with you.
Exactly. Can we give them both L's? Please.
Then you got the Bucks Pacers 3-6.
That one I'd like to see, because the Bucks are going to play the majority of that series without Giannis.
Yeah, Giannis is looking like he's going to be. Giannis is looking like he's going to be out till at least Game 3.
And the Pacers are an up and coming team. The Pacers could steal 2 in Milwaukee if they play right and play open like I saw them do in November and how they've done throughout the season. The Pacers could steal 2 in Milwaukee.
Okay, but then you still got to worry about winning at home.
They can win in Indianapolis.
Yeah, but do they win 3 or 4 at home?
They win them both.
Oh, so you got Indy knocking Milwaukee out in the first round.
Clean out.
Ooh.
It goes no more than 6 games.
Now, with the West side, we still have to figure out if it's the Kings or the Zion Williams-less Pelicans getting railroaded by the Thunder in the first round.
It's going to be the Kings, because the Thunder are going to get smacked. The Pelicans, I beg your pardon, are going to get smacked.
And then, of course, we got the 2-7, the Joker versus the Queen.
Sweep.
4-5, Charmin versus Herbal Tea.
Give them both L's. Off to the NBA Cup with both of them. Who cares?
And then you got the 3-6, the T-Wolves and the Suns. It looks like the only series worth a damn then is Bucks Pacers.
Mm-hmm.
That's sad.
Because the rest of these series matchups suck.
That's just sad.
They suck.
Because it doesn't matter who comes out of the 4-5 in either side. They're going to get freight trained.
Mm-hmm.
And then, okay, let's just say, argument's sake, Pacers come out against the Bucks, and it's the Knicks over the Sixers.
Mm-hmm.
How is that series going to wind up?
Pacers in 6.
Ooh.
Pacers in 6.
You really got them winning 2 in the Garden?
Yep.
So
Matter
then
of fact, all the Pacers would have to do is win 1 in the Garden. They did it in 2013.
True.
They did it in 2013.
Which then would leave the matchup of the Celtics and the Pacers in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Jaylen Brown and company sweep them. And I hate saying that about an up-and-coming team like the Indiana Pacers, but they're going to get taught a lesson.
So, obviously, the Celtics are coming out of the East no matter who they face.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, sake of argument, Nuggets crush the Lakers in a straight set. Yep. Thunder beat whoever is going to be coming out. We got Sacktown coming out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Charmin versus Herbal Tea. Do we really care? But
no.
I got Dallas in 5.
Yeah, I'll give you that. And
then T-Wolves, Suns. I see this going 6 with the Wolves.
Wolves in 6.
And that would leave it to be Nuggets and Wolves and Thunder and Mavericks.
And the Nuggets would kick their ass. You said Nuggets and Wolves, right?
Nuggets, Wolves.
Okay. Nuggets would whip their ass. Who's stopping the Joker?
Nobody.
Who's stopping the Joker? And the Thunder would play who?
Thunder would get the Mavericks.
Luka gets lucky. There.
You got Luka taking out OKC. Okay.
I don't trust OKC, man.
Oh, I get it, but wow.
I don't trust OKC, and I never will.
So then that matchup would leave it as the Mavericks and the Nuggets.
And the Nuggets kick their ass in a sweep.
All right. The NBA Finals would be set. Celtics, Nuggets. Gee,
Nuggets
didn't we do 6. This? You got Denver taking out Boston. Wow.
Yep. And I have one solid reason. Nikola Jokic.
Oh. As much as I would love to see it go 6 games, I got the Celtics in 5. Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum go off this series because they're playing with a chip on their shoulder.
Mm-hmm. And Jokic is playing with a bigger chip on his shoulder because everybody's saying last year was a fluke. And then Jokic will prove it's not a fluke. I say the Denver Nuggets go all the way and they raise the trophy again. I love Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, but how the hell is Jason Tatum going to stop the Joker? All the Joker has to do is just lean on him.
Al Horford, Porzingis.
Who the hell is Al Horford?
One of the best 6th men in the NBA, and he plays in Boston.
Yeah, and he's old. Next,
then you got Kristaps Porzingis.
Oh, the guy who can't stay healthy. One good blow on him, and he breaks a couple of bones. Come on, man.
I got our deep game being better than what Joker can do. I got Boston in 5.
You're going to be disappointed.
No, I'm not, because it's going to be a hell of a series.
But then again, neither of us are going to be disappointed because except for the final series, which we see Boston-Denver, we don't give a damn about any other series.
Exactly. I mean, why bother tuning in when it's basically going to be written out in front of us where it's going to just be Boston-Denver? Come on.
Mm-hmm.
It's a given.
Yeah, it's a given. And the NBA is setting the script up. Let's take a break. When we come back, two quarterbacks that sort of kind of are getting drafted in the first round, and we're going to tear them both apart. Snowman in the morning, back in a flash.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
The original Think Drink is back. Level up with proven ingredients formulated to crush your competition. No gimmicks, no jitters, no messing around. Just high-potency results that keep you moving day or night. There's a new nerd in town, and we came to play. Nerd Focus. Smarter than energy.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like Boomstick Lady. No free throw is safe from the roar of her sticks. SeatGeek helps her find a seat in the direct eye line of the shooter so she can sit where her boomsticks make the biggest boom. Everybody okay? SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Are you waking up in the morning with a sore jaw, headaches, maybe even ringing in your ears, all because you're grinding and clenching your teeth at night? That's exactly what was going on with me. That's when I found this, the Brux Night Guard. Now, the Brux Night Guard redirects the bite force away from the back teeth, reducing jaw pain while still protecting the teeth. This unique design is what makes Brux Night Guard different from all other traditional grind guards. Go to BruxNightGuard.com and order yours today.
Hey everyone, I'm joined by my old friend, Mr. Ellis Williams, aka Mr. Biggs. You called me and you told me, you said, man, I got CarShield and it worked. What made you get it?
I have this old SUV and I know the manufacturer warranty is about to run out. I don't want to get stuck with expensive car repairs.
Right.
So I gave CarShield a call. Coverage was very affordable and there was no long-term contract. A few months after that, transmission went on my car. I took it to my mechanic, they called CarShield and saved my family on $2,400.
CarShield is America's #1 auto protection company. Their administrators have paid out over $1 billion in claims and cover most vehicles from 5,000 to 150,000 miles. You'll receive 24/7 roadside assistance, courtesy towing, rental reimbursement at no additional charge.
Give CarShield a call today before it's too late. Remember,
CarShield cars go farther.
Protect yourself now against expensive auto repair bills. Call 800-513-9263.
We were always hippies at heart, I guess, and that was one way that we showed it before we became full-time RVers.
Yeah, we were definitely living small and minimally.
What made us decide to go with Battleborn was everyone from their top leadership team down to their service department helped us so much the whole way through. Our relationship with Battleborn is so much more than business. And me and Dennis love to jam together. We played together multiple times, and that's been an awesome transition. Be able to learn so much more about the business. Also, just make some awesome friends.
Alicia.
You can't hold somebody to that standard if you haven't voiced what you want and what you're needing from that.
Mika.
If you're not communicating expectations, you're waiting for your feelings to be hurt.
Nicole.
Yeah. A lot of people don't want to take the time out to be alone and to get themselves together.
Ivan.
You got to be willing to work through stuff. And from the jump street y'all done had problems, maybe you don't need to be working through those.
BS3 Network proudly presents Queen 3 and King podcast. Live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central.
During bad weather, driving can become downright dangerous.
Emergency, please.
Trust Battle Vision Storm, the revolutionary glare reduction glasses that turn your sight bright during bad weather at night or during the day. Watch your ordinary vision become extraordinary. Battle Vision Storm uses light optimizing lenses that block blue rays so you see clearly in heavy rain at night or blinding snow during the day. Heavy rain, snow, sleet, or fog can make it impossible to drive. Not with Battle Vision Storm. Get your Battle Vision Storm for only $19.99. But wait, due to rising costs and supply chain shortages, this may be your last chance to get your very own at this low price. There is a strict limit of 4 Battle Vision Storm per order while supplies last. Don't wait, order now.
Call 1-800-483-6319 or visit battlevisionstorm.com. So call 1-800-483-6319 now.
I want to do a TED Talk, but I don't have anything to talk about yet. I'm getting there.
Life is for the living. We're not here that long.
You can learn anything you want to learn without any money spent.
What do I really enjoy? What do I really want out of life?
I am your host, W-I-Z-E. Are you in a life holding pattern? Well, this is for you. Welcome to the Stuck in My Mind podcast.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Back and forth we go as we continue this first hour of Snowman in the Morning on this Friday. Glad to have y'all with us. The big dog joins me. And, of course, next week is the NFL draft.
Yeah.
And J.J. McCarthy is getting too much hype, in my opinion.
Yeah, way too much hype.
I haven't seen him. Now, I don't want to put down a homeboy because he's from Chicago. He played at Nazareth High School before COVID hit his senior year, and he transferred down to Florida and did his thing.
Right.
I don't think he's ready.
Looking
Am
at
I
the
wrong?
I'm looking at his statistics, and nothing really jumps off the page at me.
Nothing jumps off when you turn and hand the ball to Blake Corum 30 times a day, 30 times a game. I beg your pardon. It's nothing is going to jump off the scale. Nothing.
Okay.
N-U-E-T-H-Y-O-N. Nothing.
Okay. 2022 overall, he went 208 out of 322. That's a 64.6% completion rating. 2,719 yards, 22 touchdowns, 5 picks.
Right.
2023. Not much better. 240 out of 332, 2991, 22 touchdowns, 4 interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
Those aren't exactly numbers that jump out and scream first-round quarterback to me.
So why are they giving him so much hype? Why?
Because, I don't know, the school he came out of, granted, it's Michigan, won a championship. I don't know.
I don't get it.
Neither do I.
I
really
don't understand. I do not understand why J.J. McCarthy and Caleb Williams, for that matter, is getting this much hype. And y'all know how I feel about Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams sucks. Matter of fact, yank up Caleb Williams' numbers. All right, let's do this the right way.
Dude, I was a step ahead of you and had them preloaded.
So why are J.J. McCarthy and Caleb Williams getting this much hype?
All right. Caleb Williams, 2022, he was 333 out of 500, 4,537 yards, 42 touch, 5 interceptions. 2023, he was 266 out of 388, 36-33, 30 touch, 5 interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
That is more of a first-round quarterback. Granted, I would rather see him going lower than first. That's still more of a first-round QB than J.J. McCarthy.
And we all know that Caleb Williams is going to be first overall. All right, unfortunately is a given.
We figured J.J. is going to go second.
Mm-hmm.
Which means Chicago and Washington are getting 2 new quarterbacks.
Yeah, but we had Washington drafting Jaden Daniels out of LSU.
Yeah.
We both had Jaden Daniels going to the Redskins.
which then would put McCarthy down 3-4, which puts him in New England Patriot territory. I mean,
if
really?
y'all draft J.J. McCarthy, I'd laugh. For
I
two
would
reasons.
I'd
One,
cry.
I know. There are two reasons why I would put I'd laugh at you. One, Jacoby Brissett's already there.
Yup.
And two, you already got your starting quarterback. His name is Nathan Rourke.
But yet again, the way the Kraft family is, hey, didn't we have somebody else that came out of Michigan that turned out to be a pot of gold for us?
And with everything Robert Kraft said earlier this week.
By right, I want to put my foot up his ass so bad.
Robert Kraft just would.
He
draft
would.
McCarthy and hand him the ball.
He would.
He would do that. He would do that. You're right.
Again, the same school as TB12.
Yeah, but TB12 is a different animal than JJ McCarthy.
The difference is, though, he had the good coach to go with it.
Exactamundo. He had the best coach to go with it.
Yeah, who's actually going to be co-hosting with Pat McAfee their draft special.
Dear God.
That's going to be funny to watch.
Yeah, watch. And that's all I'm doing. As far as the draft goes, I had grand plans of covering the draft.
I know. We were discussing it for a while now.
We've been discussing it since the Super Bowl.
Yep.
That we were gonna cover the first round of the draft and cover it all the way through.
Day after the Super Bowl, that was the first thing we discussed after shedding a tear for how good the game was.
And applauding for 30 minutes.
Yep.
Then a 90-minute post-game show, which I didn't expect to go 90 minutes. My wife came in, gave me a kiss, went to bed.
Yeah, we were going till about midnight around here, and I had to crash. I was spent.
You and me both, partner. I still get questions to this day. How did you function the next day? I didn't. I slept.
Yep.
But Robert Kraft just would be that guy to draft J.J. McCarthy out of Michigan.
He would. He really would. This guy brought him a title. We can work with any coach. Hey, Tom. He came from your school. Is he any good?
Mm-hmm. I don't see.
Kraft is that insane to do it.
Mm-hmm. He's that insane to do it. And you ain't got Bill Belichick there anymore. You have Gerard Mayo.
We don't have Belichick even as a GM.
No. And Belichick wouldn't take the chance on McCarthy.
No, he wouldn't. There's really nothing that stands out as a first-round quarterback.
He wouldn't take the chance on McCarthy. Neither would Bill Parcells. Neither would Bill Walsh.
Neither would Pete Carroll.
Neither would Pete Carroll. Right? The craziest move would be Kyle Shanahan, but we got Brock Purdy, so we're good for the next 10 years.
Yeah, you guys are fine till he decides to say, I'm done here.
Mm-hmm. He's going to retire a 49er.
Oh, easily.
He's going to bring him a few titles, and he's going to hang it up wearing the red and gold of Frisco.
Oh, yeah. There's no question.
So why wouldn't the Redskins we projected Jeff see J.J. McCarthy as the second quarterback taken instead of Jayden Daniels? I read it this morning while on the way back from wound care. Why? Why J.J. McCarthy is jumping up the charts before Jayden Daniels? Uh-huh.
That's why.
Yeah, championship.
Yeah, plain and simple. That's the only reason why.
But then would Jim Harbaugh, who is the coach of the San Diego Chargers, take a chance on J.J. McCarthy if he drops that low?
If he drops that low, I could see it, but I could also see them making a move to get him no matter what.
You know what? I could too. I could see him jumping all the way to the 2 spot and grabbing JJ McCarthy. I could see that.
Because why mess with what got you your ring in the national game? Grab him. You've already got the coach. They already know each other. Make it easy. You're already halfway in the bag as it is.
But here's the question. Should the Chargers make that particular move and they move up and they grab McCarthy, what happens to Justin Herbert?
McCarthy learns under Herbert.
That would be the logical choice.
Yes, but does logic really exist in the NFL?
No. I mean, hell,
Okay.
the only logic that I've seen in the past 20 years, Andy Reid giving Patrick Mahomes a chance, and Kyle Shanahan telling his boys, "Look, I think the third quarterback we got's going to be our guy." And at the time, they had Trey Lance and Jimmy Garoppolo, and who's the starter?
Garoppolo.
Brock Purdy.
Yep. And Garoppolo ends up in Vegas.
Mm-hmm. Now Garoppolo's with the Rams. He's sitting for the year.
Yep.
But who's a good well, let's stay on target here. Caleb Williams blows.
Yep.
Okay.
There's no question around it.
Now, oh God. I don't think Victor's up yet, but I think he's going to come running when I say what I'm about to say. You know where Caleb would be a good fit to sit?
Victor is going to go upside your head for that one.
My next 3 words were as follows. Find the lie.
You're not lying, but he's still going to go upside your head.
Yeah, he is. But McCarthy, JJ McCarthy drafted by McCarthy. Or Caleb Williams drafted by McCarthy.
I know. Pennywise and Gerald would be dumb enough to make those moves.
We've seen him make moves. Dak Prescott, anyone?
Facts.
We've seen him make moves like that before.
Yeah, we have.
Dak Prescott, anyone?
Yep.
I mean, what the hell? How do you explain? You know, Lee Emery and the movie title escapes me right now. I know I'm old and I drink caffeine and half of my brain cells are gone and I have to quit that. What is that? What the is that? Is that A Few Good Men?
Oh, I'll tell you in just a second.
I think it's A Few Good Men. I know my memory's not that crazy.
Full Metal Jacket. Full Metal Jacket.
Thank you. Full Metal Jacket. Thank you. A Few Good Men says A Few Good Men has Jack Nicholson. You Can't Handle the Truth. I always get that mixed up. But find the lie.
You're not lying. That's the problem.
He would make the move to get Caleb Williams, and Victor would tear me to shreds. He would pile drive me. He would tombstone me. He would blame me forever. Okay.
Yeah, he would. He really would.
But he needs to blame who got them in that condition in the first place.
Yeah.
Which is Gerald.
Yeah. Pennywise and Gerald. I'm just glad Pennywise took up stakes after leaving that Stephen King book and ended up going down to Dallas.
Exactly. Exactly. I love that. I love that also. Lord have mercy.
Pretty much.
And you know And you know what's bad?
Mm.
You and I have watched enough drafts in our combined years to know that GMs and coaches would make that stupid move. All right?
Oh, easily.
John Lynch did it 3 years ago.
Yep.
Okay.
He did.
But here's the difference. San Francisco has more than made up for that move by shipping Trey Lance out of here.
Yep.
A couple of fortuitous injuries have led us to our franchise quarterback.
Yep.
Right?
Jimmy went down and Brock ended up stepping up.
Yeah, and Brock took us to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
The next season, playing virtually a full season. Of course, he didn't play week 17 because they had already sealed up the division and they'd already sealed up home field advantage.
Exactly. But still, you got somebody that lowered the hammer once Jimmy ended up leaving.
Yep. And look at the stockpile of picks that the 49ers got after we got rid of Trey.
Oh, you guys got plenty to help out.
Yep. After we got rid of Trey, we more than made up for that with the picks that we got back.
Yep.
And some of the selections that we've made since then.
Oh, easily.
It also doesn't hurt that you have one hell of a coach and one hell of an offense.
True.
It also
that's
hurt.
helpful.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
you guys are definitely shoring up those small problems that would happen to be defensive line and a little bit in the secondary.
We get rid of DeForest Buckner. Chase Young signs with New Orleans. Eric Armstead, who was damaged goods after the plantar fasciitis.
Yep.
And you know about plantar fasciitis. Once you get it, you have it forever.
Oh, yeah.
And at age 31, Armstead is now damaged goods. And the same with Javon Kinlaw, which I didn't realize until I did a deep dive off the air.
Mm-hmm.
Javon Kinlaw is damaged. So they're going to shore up their defensive line. Let's take a break. When y'all get back, Kyle Senra will take us through the AFC West with some fantasy draft picks. And yes, we're doing fantasy football on this program. Back in a minute.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter?
Ah, dang it. Wrong one. All right. I'll let it here.
Recording.
That's why
we're
recording. We're recording. All right. I know how to do this.
3.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Hey everybody, Snowman here. Looking for the best way to experience live events? Well, SeatGeek has you covered. With just a few taps on your phone, you can find the best seats for concerts, sports, theater, and more. Don't miss out on unforgettable moments. Download the SeatGeek app today and get ready for an experience like no other. Each ticket is vetted for authenticity and ranked on a 1 to 10 scale. And right now, if you sign up and use the code Snowman, you will get $20 off of your first purchase. That's only through the power of SeatGeek, where fans can fan. Are you ready to upgrade your coffee game? Prepare for an invasion of flavor with Invader Coffee. It's the caffeinated elixir that fuels champions, the blend that pushes boundaries. Whether you're battling deadlines or exploring uncharted territories, Invader Coffee has your back. Join the invasion at invadercoffee.com and taste the difference for yourself. Use the code Snowman for 15% off your first order. Invader Coffee, veteran owned.
In a world where chronicles of the past are brought to the streams, whether the content is relatable or completely beyond your realm of life, there is no shadow of a doubt that this show is absolutely full of shenanigans. Get ready for
D. Willie in the evening.
This Sunday at 10:05 p.m. Eastern.
Exclusively on Sertoba Media, where the struggle is real to be awesome. Join the transporter to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the bronze god.
Whenever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Bass.
So whatever color crayon they get, they palm it and do 2 circles, and that translates to, I can be the black people.
As she takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, Pacific Time Zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording. Oh, I'm sorry. Exclusively on the Chris Bass YouTube channel.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Well, what you can do is follow us on SNWMN Multimedia and also official SIT More. Yes, the old idea is back. Speaking of back, this guy's back this morning to talk AFC West Fantasy Draft. His name is Kyle Senra, and he joins me right now. What's up, Kyle?
I'm doing well. Yeah, it's always great to talk football. You mentioned the word draft. That's coming up in, I guess, exactly a week. Essentially, the draft will be.
Yes, it is.
Fun time of year.
Yeah. 1 week from this one is the draft. Last week we did the NFC West. Today we will do the AFC West. And what more can you do to start the AFC West than to start with the world champion, the 2-time world champion, Kansas City Chiefs? When it looked like they were dead in the water, they went on and won their second straight Super Bowl, looking for a three-peat this year in New Orleans. Where do we start with them?
Well, I think the talk last year was, what are they going to do without a wide receiver? No one was really sure. They had, taken Sky Moore the year before in the second round. We saw that not work out. It was, the same year that they traded away Tyreek Hill. So maybe he was too much was given to him in terms of responsibility and hope that he would replace Tyreek Hill. Kind of similar to when that one season where Tyreek Hill had the suspension worries and off the field conduct. They drafted McCole Hardman in the second round. A lot of people, remember a lot of dynasty rookie drafts were taking McCole Hardman far too early, and it seemed like that mistake was repeated with Sky Moore. And then last year, Rashee Rice comes out, and I found, Sky Moore, McCole Hardman, they were like back-end first-round picks in dynasty drafts. In most of my drafts, Rashee Rice was a back-end second, mid-second at best. I ended up winning a fantasy league last year in Dynasty where I got Rashee Rice at the 209 in a 14-team league as well. So that late, it seemed like people had been burned enough that they were smarter with Rice, and he was such a value, and he's actually the one that ended up hitting. So now, there's maybe a suspension worry with Rashee Rice. So if they draft a receiver this year, expect that guy to maybe be drafted too early in fantasy, especially since they kind of already addressed the position with Marquise Brown, a guy that has just gone and drawn targets his whole career. There were seasons with, as much as the Lamar Jackson, Mark Andrews connection was real in Baltimore, there's a couple of those seasons, I think Marquise Brown's second and third season to be precise, where he had more targets than Mark Andrews. So even he was seen, and right from the get-go, that first season, his target pace was basically about where Andrews was. He just ended up having some injuries, and Andrews played the full season, so his numbers were better. But then did the same in Arizona. So I feel like they've got a professional wide receiver they know can run routes, get open, and command enough targets. I don't think he gets more targets than Kelsey. I don't think anyone will on that team as long as Kelsey's there. So he's still the guy you want to target the most. I think Marquise Brown could be a really nice value in fantasy, and maybe this Rashee Rice suspension, though, works against that, and he actually goes earlier in drafts than expected. And I wonder, maybe Rashee Rice goes back to being the value, because I don't know if he is suspended this year. Not a legal expert, but reading those who are, it seems like it would be 2-3 games, not expected to be a 6-game suspension like we have seen for some off-the-field conduct for other players. So Rashee Rice might end up ultimately being the value, but there's 3 great pass-catching options. So just Marquise Brown's presence there this year compared to the team last year, this receiving core, this offense just looks actually better than it did last season. So there could be a bounce-back fantasy season for Mahomes.
Next, we go to Los Angeles and we look at the Los Angeles Chargers, a team that has a new coach, but still, to me, seems in flux. Your thoughts, sir?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, the wide receiver room is I think the biggest question. Traded away Keenan Allen, moved on from Mike Williams. Right now, they actually only have 4 wide receivers on roster, like total.
Wow.
Which is so right now, I would argue Josh Palmer, go Canadian, but Josh Palmer, he looks like he's the number 1 wide receiver on this team. And last year, even with rookie Quentin Johnston there, after Mike Williams' injury, and for the couple games where Keenan Allen got hurt, Palmer was going out there and drawing double-digit targets. So I think Josh Palmer is actually going to be a really good value this year. I do expect the Chargers to go wide receiver in the first round. In fact, it almost seems inevitable. Just like I think we talked about that with the Cardinals last week. 4 or 5 seems locked in for wide receivers. I know there's talk of trading down. I think their needs at wide receiver, coupled with the fact that at that point in the draft, and maybe even from the top of the draft, the 2 best prospects might be 2 wide receivers. So, if they get a chance at Marvin Harrison at 5, I think they'll definitely take it. I imagine the Cardinals go him. That leaves the Chargers with Malik Neighbors. And if he comes in, he's, I think, instantly the number 1 receiver on this team. And he might go really early in redraft this year. And I think he might be worth it, though. You've got a good quality quarterback like Justin Herbert. You've got a great yards after the catch receiver in Neighbors. And I mean, Quentin Johnston can at least draw attention. You have to cover him. You know, if he's targeted, he's probably going to drop it, but you at least have to cover him. He's a body that you have to account for, because if he does catch it, he actually is really good after the catch. And he's good at getting open. It's just the hands. We've seen receivers work on that. Amari Cooper's career, that was basically the story. One of the best route runners in the league from the get-go, but the hands. And then he really developed that. And like we saw it, I felt in Dallas, where his hands became a strength and he was able to make contested catches. And he and Dak worked really well together. I felt he continued that with Cleveland. So not to say Johnson can't develop, but it also usually doesn't happen immediately. Like it will take him a couple years to really get that hand technique down perfectly, where it's innate and where he's not having to think about it. So I think for now, I expect Josh Palmer will be a value once Malik Neighbors is added to the team. Because there's not really they did moves at tight end, but I'm not really convinced in any of them. I don't really know who to draft there. So Josh Palmer's kind of the guy I want to target. I mean, there was some running back news today. They just added J.K. Dobbins, so the reunion of the Ravens running.
Right.
It's not Jim Harbaugh. It's Jim Harbaugh, not John Harbaugh, but suddenly Gus Edwards, J.K. Dobbins together. I know that's a rumor that they might draft Blake Corum so that Jim Harbaugh can have his reunion. That seems to make sense. If that's the case, that's kind of a messy 3-way committee. I'm not sure who I like the most. I got to say, though, I think right now, I prefer Gus Edwards to Dobbins. I'm just really worried with this injury. Like, how effective will he be coming off it? How soon will he play? We saw a couple years ago coming off that major ACL injury that happened even before the season. He came back early and then needed a second surgery mid-season. And then finally, the end of the year of 2022 was finally like the first time we really saw J.K. Dobbins look like he did as a rookie. After this Achilles tear, I wonder if it's going to take him maybe that long to look normal again. So he's kind of a guy I'd rather avoid. I think if you're taking a running back right now in the Chargers, I think it's Gus Edwards. What do you think? Do you have an opinion on the Chargers running backs?
I'd say stay away from Dobbins. Stay away from J.K. Dobbins. That injury just doesn't do it. Just worries me. I've seen it too many times before, especially with running back and wide receiver. Because you have the question, how well are they going to be if, and that's a big if, they fully recover from the injury? If they fully recover from the injury, A, how effective are they going to be? And B, is the offense and the offensive coordinator and the head coach going to be there to trust him enough to make the plays that he needs to make and be involved in the offense? And with Jim Harbaugh, you know what he wants to do. He wants to pound the rock. He wants to pound the rock. That tells me that signing J.K. Dobbins to a 1-year deal, that's a prove-it deal. That's a prove-it deal. Prove you can give me 16 games or 17, should it come down to a playoff spot, and also prove you can get the tough yards that you're used to getting. That's what I feel with J.K. Dobbins.
It's an upside shot, a prospect that was really talented, and a running back that has shown he's really talented in the NFL. But yeah, how much percent of that talent is there? It's probably not 100% of what it used to be, but how much is that diminished? So from the Chargers, it's kind of low risk. Take a shot. We've got Isaiah Spiller as well, which is kind of a late shot guy that looked like a good prospect coming in. Maybe didn't perform as well. The combine fell in the draft and really hasn't gotten the opportunity. But ultimately, Gus Edwards has shown his career to get more carries than we ever expected to. So even if they add Blake Corum or another rookie running back, I still think Gus Edwards might be a really good value. Him and Josh Palmer, I think they're going to be the ways to get to this Chargers offense cheaply. And if everything hits, it could be a really productive offense.
Let's go to Sin City in Las Vegas and look at the Raiders, another offense in flux. They lose Jimmy Garoppolo to the Rams, and I think Garoppolo's going to wind up sitting because of his injury. What do we do? What do they do here? What do the Raiders do with Antonio Pierce in tow to give them that attitude? But along with the attitude, you got to fill out your roster and get some key pieces. What do the Raiders do?
Well, key piece. There's no more key piece to an offense than quarterback. And we hadn't had to talk about Herbert and Mahomes. They're so well established. But right now, it looks like to be a quarterback battle between Aiden O'Connell, the rookie mid-rounder they took last year, and then the free agent signing of Gardner Minshew. You look at the contracts and the money and say Minshew's the favorite to start. But, I mean, from all accounts, it seems like it's going to be a legit competition. If I had to put my money on either side, I would lean Minshew because we've seen him succeed more in the NFL. We did see O'Connell win games, but it almost seemed like they were winning in spite of him. Like they were winning some games where they almost afraid to throw with him at all in the second half. Feels like Minshew gives the team confidence, the receivers confidence. So if I had to pick a winner right now, I would say Minshew. But because the truth is, it is a good spot for a quarterback. You get to throw to Devontae Adams. That's always a bonus. That wide receiver duo of Devontae Adams, Jacoby Myers, they're going to eat up a ton of targets. But it's going to be high-quality targets for the quarterback to go to those two. They can both play outside and in the slot. Seems like a lot of the formations last year when they needed to go to two wide receivers and extra players in other positions, Myers would stay on the field. But in three wide receiver sets, they do like playing him in the slot, which he's had so much success there in his career. It gives the quarterback an easy open target. Devontae Adams, doesn't matter where he lines up, he always gives the quarterback an easy open target. There's still maybe no receiver better in the league still at just getting open on an instant, that separation at the point of attack. It's what made it so successful in Green Bay. A lot of it's just footwork off the line of scrimmage. He's still maybe the best at getting off the line. These young kids, as talented as they are, they can still learn a thing or two from Devontae Adams. So
absolutely,
if Minshew wins the job, I think he has probably a low floor quarterback, but high weekly upside. You get into a game, you throw 2-3 touchdowns to Devontae Adams, that really boosts his fantasy value. He's also mobile enough that he can run in some touchdowns. We saw that last year with the Colts. He was a very boomer bust quarterback after replacing Richardson. He could have some spike weeks, but if he didn't score a bunch of touchdowns, he wasn't really giving you too much. So he's going to run to get touchdowns, but he's not really running to gain a lot of yards and get that safe, solid floor. So in he's not, I don't think in one QB formats you're taking the risk this late, but in super flex formats, both quarterbacks could be worth drafting. Now, the one thing that could change is the Raiders could just draft a quarterback, and then suddenly, especially in the first round, it puts a lot of pressure to play that guy right away. If they go and get Michael Penix in the first round or Bo Nix, there's temptation to maybe just play the first rounder. So all this could be for naught, but it does seem like at least the team around is established. They drafted Michael Mayer last year as a tight end. It usually takes tight ends time. As much as a bunch of rookies hit last year, he was one of the few that didn't.
Mm-hmm.
But that's mostly the expectation. So I think let's see what Michael Mayer does in year 2. I don't want to be over aggressive and draft him, but he's certainly not off my board in spite of the poor rookie season. At running back, Zamir White looks like the lead guy right now. If they draft somebody, to be honest, I don't love this class to the point where I think even if they draft a guy in the third round, Zamir White might still be the better back. I don't in dynasty leagues, I've been thinking about, do I trade for him now? His price might go up after the draft, but at least there'll be certainty to know who else his competition is. But I think once he gets through the draft, and even if they do draft a running back, I think he'll be a good draft value because I expect he'll get most of the carries. I've heard Alexander Madison is the guy that buried Zamir White. I think Alexander Madison was brought in because of everything else on the team. You've got now a 33-year-old Brandon Bolden. And I mean, we saw 33-year-old Latavius Murray do well, but in his prime, Latavius Murray was much better than Brandon Bolden has ever been in his career. So that's not much you can rely on. And it seemed like they never wanted to give Amir Abdullah carries. He's more a third down specialist only. So Alexander Madison seems like he's a guy that's brought into, you're going to eat sort of the cheap carries between the 20s when we need you to. But I feel like Zamir White is not quite a workhorse back, but he's going to have that sort of 3-down role because you can trust him. Maybe you don't fully trust him on pass catching downs, and that's why Amir Abdullah is there. But I think he'll get enough receptions just being on the field. they didn't really design Josh Jacobs' routes ever in the offense. He played so many snaps that he's just going to catch dump-off passes just by virtue of being out there. Even with Gardner Minshew slinging it, eventually he will dump down to his running backs too. So Zamir White, I think, is still – I don't know. I don't really see a back in this class that just replaces his role. Maybe a 50-50 split at most, but I'm pretty sure Zamir White's going into the season as the Raiders' number one running back. Do you like – am I overstating him or underestimating this rookie class?
No, not at all. Not at all. Zamir White's going to be their number one back going into the season. I mean, you have to replace the production of Josh Jacobs, period. Injury or no injury, Josh Jacobs was their guy for 4 to 5 years. And, of course, you mentioned Gardner Minshew coming from the Colts. Minshew was so close to winning them an AFC South title if it weren't for one missed pass with a minute to go in the fourth quarter against Houston. So he has the ability, and I would lean toward Minshew to be the starter also. I would lean toward Minshew to be the starter. With Minshew, you play to win. Shane Steichen proved it last year. With O'Connell, you play not to lose. And you don't want to do that. I mean, the 49ers went through it. With Garoppolo, you play not to lose. And with Brock Purdy, you let him sling it.
It's funny. It was the opposite, though. The young kid was the more confident one. Not quite sure that's the case here. It does seem like the veteran gets that. Do you think they'll draft a quarterback? I'm leaning no, but it's the Raiders.
You know what? I think if they do draft a quarterback, it won't be in the first round. I just don't think it'll be in the first round because most of the first round big name quarterbacks will be gone.
Unless they're trading up, and giving up a lot. Doesn't seem like they're the team to do that. They'll, to be honest, if they really want to fix the defense, there's so many offensive players going. I think they pick 13th. There's a chance maybe one or two defensive players has gone off and they get their choice of basically like the third best defensive player overall at really any position. They have the luxury of their defense not having enough talent everywhere that they could take any player in the first round. It wouldn't be a positional reach. Anyone who would be the best defensive player available probably fits into their team right away as a need. Because Max Crosby is amazing, but if you take another edge rusher, that's great because you can alleviate pressure off Max Crosby. So
Yep. Speaking of talent being needed everywhere, there's these guys, the Denver Broncos. I feel for the Broncos for two reasons. One, just 2015, they were world champions. They win Super Bowl 50. And then they dropped off the face of the earth. And a lot of that coincided with Peyton Manning retiring. A lot of that coincided with Peyton Manning, stepping away and retiring. They haven't had a quarterback. They haven't had anything since then. Where do you start with the Denver Broncos?
Well, I guess the question is, should they have actually signed Brock Osweiler that year? Because they let both of their quarterbacks walk. And Osweiler is pretty awful. So it kind of looked like, okay, it's good they didn't spend a bunch of money on him, but would he have been good enough to sustain them some success? But, I mean, Jared Stidham is currently the quarterback. This feels like a team that's destined to go QB. And to earlier point of why the Raiders might not go quarterback is because 5 might have already gone because the Broncos pick ahead of them. So I think they will go QB in the first round. So maybe they get Michael Penix. Does J.J. McCarthy fall? Does Sean Payton actually like Bo Nix because of the accuracy and the quick passing? It seems like that's being knocked. Oh, there's so many dump-offs. Hey, Drew Brees had a Hall of Fame career throwing dump-off passes in a Sean Payton offense. So maybe he used Bo Nix.
Drew Brees had a Hall of Fame career. Steve Young had a Hall of Fame career. Hell, if you really want to think about it, Joe Montana had a Hall of Fame career dumping off to Jerry Rice, John Taylor, Brent Jones, Roger Craig, Tom Rathman. He did most of those on dump-off passes. The key was the guys had the ability to take it the rest of the way. If you go back to 1989 and look at the second series that Montana had against the Minnesota Vikings, he threw a 4-yard pass to Jerry Rice. What did Jerry Rice do? He took it the distance.
And, I mean, they might have that guy in the rookie they took last year, Marvin Mims. It was actually, they didn't have a first rounder in 2023. So that ended up actually being Sean Payton's first pick for the Broncos. So it looks like based on their depth chart now, he's going to have a role. They signed Josh Reynolds as their big free agent signing. Cortland Sutton still looks to be the one. And, maybe they go wide receiver in the first round and then address QB later. Yeah. Maybe that rookie wide receiver ends up being the one, but outside of going 12th overall with one, I'd expect Cortland Sutton to be the number one receiver, at least for 2024. But Mims could feature in. They didn't really use him much last year, but I wonder if his role expands now with Jerry Jeudy going. So I would lean that they go QB at 12, like I said. I think again, one of the things that's being knocked with Bo Nix is how old he is. Sean Payton might view that as a bonus in that he's not a project. He is what he is now. He's shown there might not be more of a ceiling, but he might also be one of the safest floors of any quarterback. I think his ceiling is so low, though. That's why he's often viewed as like the 6th best QB or maybe 5th best QB. I wonder if the Broncos really like that and they just take him at 12 because they don't want to risk it. And Sean Payton thinks he's got all this experience. Of all the QBs in this class, he threw the most touchdowns in college over the course of his career. It was like 114 or something, even more than Caleb Williams. So Sean Payton might look at Bo Nix and say he's ready right now. There's the learning curve won't be as steep for him as a rookie. We're drafting him at 12 overall and we're playing him right away and hoping that he and Mims and Sutton can create that magic that they're looking for. Again, I guess tight end is interesting because Sean Payton brought over his guy, Adam Troutman. The previous regime drafted Greg Dulcich. And Troutman didn't do much last year, and Dulcich was hurt a lot of the year, so we didn't really get much of an answer. Again, maybe with the absence of Jerry Jeudy, it means just more targets for everyone. So maybe we get a more clear, defined top tight end. Again, maybe Bo Nix seems like a guy that he would go to the tight end often, dumping down.
Yeah.
It might, I guess they'll design enough for Sutton, but I do wonder if it does hurt Sutton in the long run. And I mean, running back's interesting. They've really got 3 guys. Like, it feels like, again, this class doesn't seem strong enough to the point where there's so many holes with the rest of Denver's roster. They could go without drafting a running back in this class and feel fine. Javonte Williams, Samaje Perine, Jaleel McLaughlin. Feels like they really like Perine as their 3rd down pass catching back. A year removed from ACL injury that Williams suffered in 2022. I wonder if we see a better Javonte Williams this year than we did last year. I'd certainly rather invest in him this season than would have drafted. I was kind of avoiding him last year. This year, he went through the whole season, didn't get re-injured. Feel like he's going to have an off season to now not be rehabbing, but get stronger and better. So while these other guys are there, I could also see them just riding with Javonte Williams as maybe a true workhorse back. So I do still like Javonte Williams. We'll see this year. It's kind of make or break. I believe it's the final year of his rookie contract, or he might want to have one more. I can't remember, but he's getting close to that, needing that second contract. So maybe a big year coming up for him.
We will see what happens. Those are your AFC West fantasy draft projections with my buddy Kyle Senra. Beginning next week, we're going to take some questions from the fans, see what they think, and make this more involved. And yes, I've listened to people, and we're going to do a fantasy league here on the program and through Snowman Multimedia. And Kyle, I'm going to need your help to guide me through that. And
sure, I can co-commission with you. Yeah, I'll help you out.
Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We got a lot more after this.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like Boomstick Lady. No free throw is safe from the roar of her sticks. SeatGeek helps her find a seat in the direct eye line of the shooter so she can sit where her boomsticks make the biggest boom. Everybody okay? SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
The original Think Drink is back. Level up with proven ingredients formulated to crush your competition. No gimmicks, no jitters, no messing around. Just high-potency results that keep you moving day or night. There's a new nerd in town, and we came to play. Nerd Focus. Smarter than energy.
Are you waking up in the morning with a sore jaw, headaches, maybe even ringing in your ears, all because you're grinding and clenching your teeth at night? That's exactly what was going on with me. That's when I found this, the Brux Night Guard. Now, the Brux Night Guard redirects the bite force away from the back teeth, reducing jaw pain while still protecting the teeth. This unique design is what makes Brux Night Guard different from all other traditional grind guards. Go to BruxNightGuard.com and order yours today.
We were always hippies at heart, I guess, and that was one way that we showed it before we became full-time RVers.
And we were definitely living small and minimally.
What made us decide to go with Battleborn was everyone from their top leadership team down to their service department helped us so much the whole way through. Our relationship with Battleborn is so much more than business. And me and Dennis love to jam together. We've played together multiple times, and that's been an awesome transition. Be able to learn so much more about the business. Also, just make some awesome friends.
Hey everyone, I'm joined by my old friend, Mr. Ellis Williams, AKA Mr. Biggs. You called me and you told me, you said, man, I got Car Shield and it worked. What made you get it?
I have this old SUV and I know the manufacturer warranty is about to run out. I don't want to get stuck with expensive car repairs.
Right.
So I gave Car Shield a call. Coverage was very affordable and there was no long-term contract. A few months after that, transmission went on my car. I took it to my mechanic, they called Car Shield and saved my family and I $2,400.
Car Shield is America's #1 auto protection company. Their administrators have paid out over $1 billion in claims and cover most vehicles from 5,000 to 150,000 miles. You'll receive 24/7 roadside assistance, courtesy towing, rental reimbursement at no additional charge.
Give Car Shield a call today before it's too late. Remember,
Car Shield cars go farther.
Protect yourself now against expensive auto repair bills. Call 800-513-9263.
I want to do a TED Talk, but I don't have anything to talk about yet. I'm getting there.
Life is for the living. We're not here that long.
You can learn anything you want to learn without any money spent.
What do I really enjoy? What do I really want out of life?
I am your host, WIZE. Are you in a life holding pattern? Well, this is for you. Welcome to the Stuck in My Mind podcast.
During bad weather, driving can become downright dangerous.
What's your emergency, please?
Trust Battle Vision Storm, the revolutionary glare reduction glasses that turn your sight bright during bad weather at night or during the day. Watch your ordinary vision become extraordinary. Battle Vision Storm uses light optimizing lenses that block blue rays so you see clearly in heavy rain at night or blinding snow during the day. Heavy rain, snow, sleet, or fog can make it impossible to drive. Not with Battle Vision Storm. Get your Battle Vision Storm for only $19.99. But wait, due to rising costs and supply chain shortages, this may be your last chance to get your very own at this low price. There is a strict limit of 4 Battle Vision Storm per order while supplies last. Don't wait, order now.
Call 1-800-483-6319 or visit battlevisionstorm.com. So call 1-800-483-6319 now.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
My beautiful wife. She tells me all the time, well, you know everything. I said, baby, I'm a sports nerd. I can't help it. Official SITM is the ID you need to follow the show, and SNWMN Multimedia is what you need to follow the network. Okay. The last time I had this pretty lady on, we went to work, and the next thing you know, 45 minutes passed. And then she and her beau sent me a compliment via email that I was made to do this, which just made me just blush all kinds of red and made me more confident in doing this. She's back to talk NFL draft with me. Here with me from Los Angeles, Deb Whitcas. How you doing, Deb?
I'm good. It's me and my cat, Olive.
Hi, Olive.
I am not sure if she made an appearance last time. I'm sure she did. She's never up here. And the second I think it's the lights. It's crazy. Anyway, so she has some picks for the draft as well.
I know that because one of my cats was up here during the break. The biggest one of the 3, Pumpkin, was up here voicing his opinion. Pets, what pets won't do to follow
panther,
sports,
right? I think she looks like a panther. She's got the #1 pick because they traded with the Bears. So there we go. That's why she's up here.
Oh boy, gotta love it. All right, let's go to work. It seems The Bears have shown their hand.
Yes. They have. Now Cano, my dog's about to jump up now too. He wants to be part of the party.
Oh no.
Let me get her down, and then we will discuss the Bears and what they are doing.
The Bears seem to have shown their hand. Bye-bye, Olive.
Bye-bye.
That they are going to draft Caleb Williams.
I mean, if they don't, I will be absolutely shocked.
You and me
Obviously,
both.
Justin Fields is no longer there. They do not have a quarterback. So, yeah, I mean, Caleb Williams is going to be the first one off the board.
But see, that's only one quarterback in the quarterback room.
Correct.
That's only one in the quarterback room.
I know you don't like them, so
how do you solve the depth with that? Just in case Caleb Williams either goes down with an injury, God forbid, or ineffectiveness, which is what I fear.
Right. I mean, do we have another Bryce Young on our hands here? This time last year, how hyped was it? I'm just playing devil's advocate here, but I like Caleb. But how hyped was Bryce Young now? Didn't do anything at combined, did his pro day. He was the number one and went number one, and no one talked about him all season because he underperformed. Granted, he was with the Panthers, but yes. So do we have another Bryce Young on our hands?
It seems that way for two reasons. One, in his time at USC, and this is from my eyes, measuring his success at Oklahoma and then measuring his somewhat success at USC, there's kind of an imbalance there.
Okay.
And secondly, where's the offensive line that's going to protect him in Chicago?
That's true. At least he has people to throw to with DJ Moore and Keenan Allen now.
Yeah, but you can't throw the ball on your back.
That is true.
You can't throw look, Bryce Young showed it last year. You can't throw the ball while you were constantly on your ass.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, that O-line obviously is so important. Yep.
Not only that, 2 years ago, the Bears made the stupidest move in franchise history by letting their 1,000-yard rusher David Montgomery walk. Oops. Now what? The Bears have so many positions to fill. I feel quarterback is the least of their problems. You got to get an offensive line, and you got to have a running game to hang your hat on.
Yeah, right now it is because they gave up Justin Fields. But yes, that too.
You got to have a running game to hang your hat on. That's how I've felt all the time. That's how I feel all the time. So what do they do for the running back position? Who do you see in the draft that could fit with what they need? Of course they need an offensive line, but who can be that game breaker for them?
I don't even know. I haven't even thought about that because I know they're going quarterback. Right? It's like I didn't that thought has not even crossed my mind because it's just so obvious that they're getting Caleb, right?
Yeah. And that's why they brought in Keenan Allen. That's why they made some of the other moves they made. And that's why they jettisoned Justin Fields, because it just looks like they're going to bring in Caleb Williams. Speaking of quarterbacks that have been shot up the draft board.
I know what you're about to say because I was about to bring it up too.
There's a fellow that played at Nazareth High School in my hometown that just recently won the national championship.
Yes, I was about to bring this up.
And he has shot up the draft boards.
And I'm not sure why, but I have a theory of where he's going.
Me and the guys talked about this earlier in the show. His name is JJ McCarthy.
Yes.
And
good quarterback. Not sure if he should be in the top 5 though. Like 10-ish, 11-ish, 12-ish maybe, but he's not in the Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Drake May picture. No. And I think he's going to go right after those 3. So
Shane had him as high as second, thinking the way.
Wait, who did that? Hold on.
Listen, he was looking at the boards the same way I was.
Okay.
when we talked earlier in the show.
Okay.
And he said there's a possibility he could be the second quarterback drafted, which I don't think will happen. I think it'll be Jaden Daniels that goes to Washington.
I agree.
But
there's some iffy stuff there too. The Commanders brought in 4 quarterbacks the other day.
Yep. They brought in 4 quarterbacks.
Why?
And there just may not be enough room for Jaden Daniels to show off. And then you have to. Oh, there's another furry friend joining us.
Cannoli, come here.
Hi.
He loves football too. He's a football dog. This is my baby. What do you think of Jaden Daniels and Drake May? Huh? What do you think? Yeah. Could you outrun them? Could you outrun them all? You probably could. He's a very good runner. All right, well, let's get down. Mom's talking football. All right.
So we got 2 extra picks in, okay?
Yeah, I mean, I think Jaden Daniels is going, but yeah, I mean, JJ McCarthy at number 2. I would actually put a bet on that one that's not happening.
Mm-hmm.
But
I don't think it's happening either.
yeah.
He's not worth the number 2 pick.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, it's weird. I mean, obviously, Jaden Daniels, I wouldn't be happy if the Commanders brought in 4, if you were, pretty much slated to go there. I mean, no one knows for a fact. No one knows anything. Only teams know, and some of the teams don't even know. You know what I mean? Like, because you just don't know what's going on with the trades and what they're picking and who they can get and where everybody will slide. But yeah, I mean, bringing in 4 quarterbacks he cannot be happy. I mean,
no.
And also, too, the Vikings had him for a private workout as well. So one day after he visited Washington. So it's like there's some speculation that he doesn't want to go to the Commanders, but I mean, do these kids have a choice? They're going NFL. I mean, you should be happy to be on any team, and the Commanders are in a rebuild. They have some who else is that? I mean, they have some great wide receivers. Terry McLaurin is there. Brian Robinson Jr. Yeah, I mean, they have some good offensive players, but I think the Commanders are going to be a bit of a force this year. We actually talked about that last night on the Blonde Blitz, Nikki and I and Dan. The Commanders might show out this year.
Yeah, they just might. And I love the Blonde Blitz, by the way. I'm hooked on that program. Because after I had you on last time, I immediately pressed some buttons, and I immediately got the Blonde Blitz. So y'all need to check that out. Y'all need to check that show out. It's absolutely fabulous. New England is 3rd, and Shane is a big time Patriots fan.
Okay,
and they could draft a quarterback also. But I believe they already have their starting quarterback, and it ain't Jacoby Brissett. I think they need to turn and give the ball to Nathan Rourke right now.
All right. You said that last time.
Yeah, I believe they need to give the chance. Yep. They need to give the ball to Nathan Rourke, and they need to do it now.
Okay.
It's the fact that Rourke is the man. Okay. And I've had people say to me, you're basing this off of 1 year in the CFL. Yes, I am. But I also went back and looked at his film at Ohio and combined it with the film I looked at in the CFL, which led to him signing with the Jaguars and then later, coming to the Patriots. I still believe you give him the ball right now.
Right. Okay. I don't know too much about him. I'm to be completely honest, but yeah, I mean, I think Drake May is going to the Patriots. I think they're gonna go with a quarterback. I mean, but
if Drake May is drafted by the Patriots, then you got a great competition.
Right, that's true.
Because now you can show them both off to see what they both can do. But they need a quarterback fast. Because you're sitting with an 11-year veteran in Jacoby Brissett. You got the young man in Nathan Rourke. It's open that they could draft a quarterback. All right. You got Ramondre Stevenson as your running back. You're slowly building your offense. But which way do you think Gerard Mayo would lean? Would he lean totally on Drake May?
I think so. I mean, they're also, I don't know. They also met with Michael Penix too, so that could be, he's projected as like a first round late pick. So yeah, I don't know.
Speaking of, where do you think Michael Penix would fit?
I don't know.
Since we're talking quarterback.
I'm not sure. Like, who else needs a quarterback? That's
New Orleans.
The Saints. Yeah, they do.
New Orleans needs a quarterback.
They're covered now.
Mm-hmm. The Raiders need a quarterback badly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I love Antonio Pierce there. I think that's the
Mm-hmm.
best move of the season.
yeah, best hire they've made in a long time.
Absolutely.
Best hire they've made in a long time. You know who else needs a quarterback? Denver.
Yes, I was just thinking. I was about just to say the Broncos too. Mm-hmm.
So not only could they go after Michael Penix Jr., they could also go after a fellow named Bo Nix.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They could go after. You know who else?
I mean, those guys they're gonna sit for the first year, but
they're all gonna sit for the first year. Yeah, you got to sit and learn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got to sit and learn. You know who else could draft a quarterback just as a surprise? You know who else could draft a quarterback just as a surprise and just to ruffle some feathers? The Jets.
You know what? That actually crossed my mind, and I was too scared to say it. So I'm glad you just said it. That literally just crossed my mind, but I was like, "Can you watch?" I would not want to see Aaron Rodgers' face when that happened. So I was about to stay mum, but yeah, that just crossed my mind.
I'm not
because
the Jets would be that team. Even though they have Aaron Rodgers there, you only saw him for 4 plays.
It was like
Aaron
70
Rodgers is
seconds
40.
or something crazy.
Yep. Aaron Rodgers is 40. Okay.
Yep.
He's about to turn 40.
He is.
He's not long for the position. So just to and not just to create some controversy, but you got to have some stability at the position. They could draft a quarterback. Bo Nix, Michael Penix, maybe even Drake May if he falls.
And I have to say, I saw some pictures. Aaron Rodgers was working out with it's either, I think it was USC. It's either UCLA or USC. And I'm going to be honest, he looked a little tired. Doing drills and whatnot. I was like, ooh, he looks 40. Not that I had ever really seen, Tom Brady do workouts with the college kids, but apparently that's what he was doing. He was doing with the football team, and granted, he's next to college kids, but still, he just looked a little too tired for my my liking. But
he's not the long-term answer.
No, he can't be. I mean, he's got what, 2 more years, if that. I don't see him going 40 to 44. He was injured, especially an ACL. It's ACL, right?
It's an ACL.
Yeah, I understand he went to the best doctors and did it right away, but you're still 40. And you
can't be Father Time.
You just I'm trying to do it now. I'm struggling myself, so
I'm trying to be Father Time. Hell, cancer tried to come get me, and we got it first.
Fabulous. Yes.
You know what? I'll give you a team who could draft a quarterback and ruffle some feathers in the AFC. Tennessee.
Okay.
Tennessee could draft a quarterback. It depends on who falls to number 7.
I think they are though, but yeah.
It depends on who falls to number 7. I'm just looking at teams that are hungry for a quarterback right now.
Right. I think the Titans are taking Joe Alt personally. But OT, the OT, so offensive tackle. I mean, he's got. First of all, he's huge. Have we all looked at him?
Yep.
Guys,
the man is a monster.
6'9", 221 pounds. His bloodline, all athletes. Dad, Kansas City Chiefs player.
Yep.
Brother, his younger brother played ice hockey. This guy's definitely going top 10.
He is. You know what the Bears could do? They could draft Joe Alt and send everybody ablaze.
That's
I don't
true.
expect it to I don't expect it to happen.
Then who's gonna be the quarterback? Like
Exactly.
what are we doing?
It's a coin toss because there's no way the way it looks right now, there's no way there's going to be a quarterback available at 9.
No.
Because the Bears got 1 and 9. Every top quarterback is going to be gone by 9. If Penix and Bo Nix are late picks, they would go no lower than 14, and that's New Orleans. If they go lower than 14, then something is wrong and somebody didn't do a good job evaluating. But all the top quarterbacks are going to be gone by at least pick 11. And pick 11 could see Bo Nix in Minnesota.
No, I mean, look at last year with Will Levis. We thought he was going to, and he went day 2.
He did.
First pick of day 2, and I just remember his face sitting there, and that was tough. I liked Will Levis. I saw him in the combine. I thought he did a great performance, and I was excited to see him on the field this season. But I didn't think he was going to go round 2 or in second day.
I didn't think so either. And with Joe Alt being in Tennessee to protect him, you start rebuilding that offensive line there with that guy. And like you said, the bloodline's there with the Alts. Saw his dad play at Kansas City, and he just moved people. That's all he did his entire career. He just moved people.
Yeah. And his son's about to do the same thing.
About to do the same thing. Exactly. His son's about to do the same thing.
Like father, like son on this one.
Exactly. Deb Whitcas joining us here on the program, talking all things NFL draft. Let's look at the Pittsburgh Steelers. They picked 20. They supposedly have their quarterback room set.
I mean, they've got a bunch.
Exactly.
I mean, Russell Wilson, Justin Fields. Who else do you need?
I'm not looking at quarterback for Pittsburgh. I'm looking at running back because Najee Harris ain't long for the team.
Well, and Najee Harris, and I actually do a podcast with Frank Nicotero on Pro Sports Fans. And I've known Frank Nicotero. He's a comedian. Guys, check him out. He's amazing. And he's a huge Steelers fan. And I remember when Najee Harris was drafted and we were on air and Frank jumped into a pool because he was so excited. But all of last season, I was like, Frank, Najee Harris, like not doing so hot, not every week. And Frank was like, I know, I wish I could take back the pool jumping. And so, I mean, he got better as the season went on and finally had some fireworks there. But for the most part, I agree.
Yep. All right. Let's close the shop and look at your Philadelphia Eagles.
Why did I know this was coming?
Oh, I don't know. I say fly, Eagles, fly, and you get a 2-foot smile on your face. The same way I have this shirt on to support my wife. There you go. Oh, yeah.
My little.
Here's a present my wife got me.
Nice. Yes.
I told you we have a split household here. She for the Colts, me for the 49ers, and she teases me all the time. Let's look at the Philadelphia Eagles. Where do they start?
I love Andrew Richardson and for the Colts. Love him. AR
is going to be the man for Indianapolis for a long time. Just want him to stay healthy. Want him to stay healthy and that offensive line to be healthy. And they came within one play of stealing the AFC South title. They are going to compete this year.
Yep, I think it's a great division to be in. Anyway, let's talk Eagles.
Let's talk Eagles, absolutely.
We've got picks 22, 50, and 53. We need that O-line, and we need defense. I think the Eagles have a great offense. Hurts, Saquon Barkley, A.J. Brown, Smith, Goddard. I mean, powerhouse. The Eagles are going to be a force. We need to buff up that O-line. It sucks that Jason Kelce has retired, obviously. The Eagles drafted Cam Jurgens a couple seasons ago. They knew Jason was leaving eventually. So Cam has learned under the best.
Yes.
So I'm excited to see him out on the field. Funny story, told it on Blonde Blitz. Apparently the Eagles organization gave Cam Jason's locker. And he kept going to his old locker. He's like, I'm not used to going to Jason's locker. Like, that's Jason's locker, you know? So yeah, he's like, I'm just not used to it. So anyway, he said it was very weird. Losing Fletcher Cox, obviously not good either. Big blow to the defense there.
Right.
I'm sure we'll replace, him and not replace him because you can't replace it.
No,
Fletcher
you
Cox
can't.
for sure.
You
Like
can't.
you just can't.
Right.
But we'll see what happens in the draft. I think we always need cornerbacks. Always. That's always seems to be an Eagles thing. Every year, I'm like, we need cornerbacks. We need cornerbacks. And to be honest, I mean, every team needs quarterbacks. Like even the Chargers, like I do cover the Chargers a bit. The general manager Ortiz, his exact quote the other day was, "We're always shopping for corners. We'll sign corners. We'll draft corners, and we will always be looking for corners." And I feel like that's just a blanket statement all over the entire league.
Yes, it is.
Right.
Yes, it is.
So I think though I think the offensive line is really where we should go with our first pick for number 22. Tyler Guyton, I feel like the offensive tackle from Oklahoma. I feel like that's where the Eagles should go first. He's just he's lethal.
He is.
So I mean that wingspan he has, he's athletic.
It's crazy.
He's
the wingspan is crazy.
Yeah, he's like 6'7". He's just a perfect fit for offensive tackle. I mean, obviously we have Lane Johnson. The Eagles have. I would say we. Isn't that funny? The Eagles. I do that. And
I do the same thing for the 49ers all the time. Okay,
so the team.
It is.
But obviously Lane Johnson, who everyone loves, fan favorite. I mean, he's made it clear he wants to continue to play, but I think Tyler would be a good. We need to find his replacement eventually because Lane's 33, right tackle, big guy, but yeah, I mean those guys can't play forever.
No.
So they have freight trains coming, you're like they got freight trains coming at them every day. So yeah.
And we got the same thing with Trent Williams, who's going to be 36 and still considered the best offensive lineman in the league. So there may be a tug of war going on between Philadelphia and San Francisco for Tyler Guyton. And he visited both teams. What do y'all do in the second round? Because you got two picks there, 50 and 53. What do you do at 50 with this pick from New Orleans?
I think we're going with Cooper DeJean, quarterback. You know what I mean? He's more like a safety, is what everybody's saying. So he's just, like I said, cornerbacks. We always need them. I think that's what we do. That's what the Eagles do for the second pick. I think he's just an impressive combination of size and speed. So
Agreed.
I'm a little worried about that injury that he had that kind of ended his season, but I think he's okay. So
what do you do at 53? Let's close up shop there. What do you do at 53?
You know what? I'm gonna go center. Graham Barton.
There you go. And I like Darton. He reminds me of the time that I looked deeply at Dallas Goedert out of South Dakota State.
Love Dallas.
Goddard and Jake Winneke at the time. And I just knew Dallas Goedert was going to be a star. And people thought I was.
Said this before. I think we talked about this before. But yeah.
Yep. People thought I was nuts when I looked at Dallas Goedert. And I said, watch this. And he fell to you guys, and it was a perfect fit.
Yep. Literally a perfect fit. I mean, he fits in Philly so well. Yeah, he's great. But so I'm excited to see what Cam Jurgens can do. I think we need a backup center. Because obviously. Oh my God, guys! The cat and the dog do not agree. Okay. Do not
when the pets respond to your picks. Okay.
Maybe not. Yeah. I mean, I think he's a good fast breaking center, good core strength, I think he's got good ability. So, I mean, he's not going to be Travis Kelce, but no one's going to be Travis Kelce. So
no one's gonna beat
good
that.
blocker. Good blocker. You know what I mean?
Good.
Too. But
Yeah. We'll see if that happens. The draft is next week. She is Deb Whitcas. Olive joins us as well. Both their pets joined us, just like mine joined me. This has been an absolute blast. Thank you very much, dear.
So much fun. Always a pleasure.
We got more stuff for you, folks. See you in a minute.
In a world where chronicles of the past are brought to the streams, whether the content is relatable or completely beyond your realm of life, there is no shadow of a doubt that this show is absolutely full of shenanigans. Get ready for
D. Willie in the evening.
this Sunday at 10:05 p.m. Eastern.
Exclusively on Sertoba Media, where the struggle is real to be awesome.
Trisha's having a sleepover tonight. Can I go?
I wonder about Lucy's friends. What should I say? I know you're only 10, but one of these days a friend will offer you a drink. And alcohol at your age can lead to so many things. None of them good.
So can I go to the sleepover?
Lucy, I want you to promise me
I
something.
finished my homework.
Bigger promise. If there's any drinking, I want you to say, "No thanks, not my thing."
Mom.
I promise you, your real friends won't care. Deal?
Sure.
Really?
I promise, Mom.
They really do hear you.
Did you pack your toothbrush?
For tips on how to start the talk, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov. A public service message from the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration.
Yo, camping buddy. Okay, you guys ready?
Dude, I thought you were driving.
I thought you were driving.
Oh, I never said I was driving.
I definitely can't drive.
If you're high, just don't drive. It's illegal everywhere. If you feel different, you drive different.
When it comes to vaping, the truth can get clouded. So let's make it clear. Vaping is not safe for kids, teens, or young adults. It's just not.
Because vaping can put microscopic particles into your lungs.
And dangerous things like metals and volatile organic compounds into your body.
And nicotine, the same highly addictive substance found in regular cigarettes.
Nicotine can harm a person's brain development through their mid-20s.
Affecting learning, memory, attention, and impulse control, and priming the brain for other addictions.
Vaping products also come in kid-friendly flavors that can make them appealing to youth.
And many kids also use other drugs, like marijuana, in vaping devices.
With appealing flavors, high nicotine levels, and lots of promotion on social media,
many kids think vaping is harmless, but it's not.
So talk to your kids about the risks of vaping, because when you talk, they hear you.
How many letters?
5 letters.
Just think about, what am I doing right now?
Smile. Smile?
Uh-huh.
This is so easy.
One of the great things about ordering meals from Mother of Macros is that you can do it from the comfort of your own home. Click the national or local delivery link to access the menu, and we'll ship the meals right to your door. We understand you won't always have time to plan, shop, prepare, and cook to provide healthy nutrition for your family, so the process is simple and saves you hours. We know you're busy, so our meals are professionally prepared and packaged. You only need to heat them up and enjoy. We provide macro-balanced, delicious meals, chock full of fresh, local ingredients with none of the stuff you don't want to eat. Plus, our menu changes every week, keeping your taste buds wanting more. We take care of your meals so you can worry about everything else on your list. Mother of Macros.
I don't want to grow up. I'm basically a man-child. 2005 Burning Man. I put a single Mitsubishi 170-watt panel on the roof of my F-250, and I killed the batteries within like 15 minutes of the first time turning them on. So that's when I first got into solar. I was blown away by the customer service at Battleborn.
We want them to be happy with our product, because in the long run, they're the ones who are out there using it.
When you used to buy something American, like a car or something you knew was built really well, that's what I think of with Battleborn.
Race car drivers change lanes very fast, but with no outside mirrors. How come they don't crash? Introducing Angel View, the new wide-angle mirror that reduces blind spots. Angel View simply snaps over your car's rear view mirror, giving you a 160-degree view behind you. Just look at the difference. Look, ordinary rear view mirrors are small and flat, but Angel View has a huge mirror with curved glass. This convex shape allows you to see both blind spots with one glance. And with our Pro Edition special coating, it's anti-glare at night. Get your Angel View now for just $19.99. But wait, Angel View may be discontinued. Due to rising costs, Angel View is stopping manufacturing effective immediately. Once the current inventory is gone, it's gone forever. Order now.
Call 1-800-495-0761. That's 1-800-495-0761. Or visit getangelview.com. Order now.
Next, you'll want to turn your new customers into happy reviewers, which is a snap with our new review request quick actions from Power Brand Systems. The more conversations you turn into customers, the easier it becomes to drive repeat business. We make reactivating contacts into customers as easy as, yep, you guessed it, the push of a button with bulk actions in Power Brand Systems. You can send out text and email campaigns to generate new sales whenever you have a new update, promotion, or story to tell. We make modern online marketing simple. Let's start growing your business today with Power Brand Systems.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
My beautiful wife, Jody. Well, y'all know where to go. Official SIT Morn on all of our social media for the show, and SNWMN Multimedia for all of our social media on the network. Thank you again to Cole Johnson for the fabulous new intro. You'll see the new outro at the end of the show after Chris Bates leaves. Okay, it's Friday. I'm going to make this a potluck Friday. All right, with this. Well,
man, we did potluck yesterday and that went off the rails. So don't you dare!
Ain't nobody calling me.
Get him out of here!
Paging me, asking me, are you still involved?
No! No, Tam, no!
Calling me, texting me.
I couldn't resist.
You're damn right it's bowling shoe ugly.
I couldn't resist.
Oh, for God's sake.
No more Tam. I promise. No more Tam.
And I have got a stream this afternoon that I'm going to have a voice for.
What do you have to do this afternoon?
I got another friend stream at 2.
Doing
I'm the announcer for the person on Twitch.
Like, how do you announce? How do you do that? What do you do?
I'm like Bruce Buffer.
Ah, ring announcer. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sorry. Push the wrong button.
I said no more Tam, damn it.
You fool!
You're damn right.
And now a selection from the Wonder Bread Choir entitled You Fool. Had to keep that alive.
You had to. You just had to.
You had to keep that alive. Jake Silva's on the way. We're just having fun here.
Wrapping up the second hour of Snowman in the Morning. Jake Silva will lead off hour 3. You already know who closes it. I got an email yesterday.
Oh, boy.
From a friend of mine who watched yesterday's abbreviated show.
Oh, God. This can't end well.
It did, because the first thing he said was he couldn't stop laughing.
The funny thing is, I showed that to a lot of my friends. I showed them. I was like, you guys, you want to see me basically out on the floor laughing? Watch this. And every last damn one of them were laughing by the time they got done.
I believe it. I believe it.
And mind you, I got friends worldwide. I'm like Pitbull, dude.
Same.
And all of them were laughing.
Same. I got the I just got the question at the end of the email. Why do you do this to people?
Why do you do this to people, dude?
I would say whatever are you talking about, but I know better.
Yeah, because at least I'll debate it. Victor would be like, no, enough, I'm out.
I would say I don't know what you're talking about. I know better. And if I know Cole, there's a button he's going to push that says,
"Stop the cap."
Cole. No. That was yesterday. It was so bad, man. The FTSC and the FAA would have to investigate.
I think they did.
I think so, too.
I think they were too busy laughing.
Probably.
They were too busy laughing. Okay. Let's bring it back to football. And I know I've asked you this a ton of times. But what do you think the Patriots will do with the number 3 pick? Which way do they lean? Because Deb thinks Drake May would go to New England.
I'd hope
and
not.
I'm saying they already have their starting quarterback. I know I brought this up before, but I've gotten a few emails asking me, why do I believe in Nathan Rourke so much? And I just tell them I'm not the only one.
No, the guy's great. And again, where would I go if I was drafting this? Marvin Harrison Jr. Give me the wide receiver. We've got 3 quarterbacks right now. Well, 2. I'm
2.
Screw you, Dorsett. Well, yeah. And Brissett and the couch you rode in on. I'll take
one. Look, I'm the one that's supposed to mispronounce names, okay? Not you.
I'm barely alive. Remember, I got smacked upside the head by a box spring.
I understand. I understand.
I'm just glad it didn't leave an imprint on my forehead.
I'm glad too. I'm glad it didn't leave an imprint on your back.
No, I stood upright. The thing caught me so flush in the chest, it cracked my ankle as soon as it hit me.
Ouch.
Meanwhile, we've got 2 quarterbacks. Rourke and Zappy.
Yeah.
We don't need to draft a 3rd. Because we know Jacoby's going to be out the door.
Yeah, Jacoby's a stopgap quarterback.
If
Jacoby's a stopgap.
Yeah, he is. If Robert Kraft was smart, instead of trying to stab Bill Belichick in the back with a katana 29 more times, we would be drafting Marvin Harrison Jr.
Who's going to be available?
Oh, easily.
Who's going to be available?
Because we know the first 2 picks are quarterbacks.
In
we
fact,
all know
the big-time quarterbacks are all going to be gone by pick 9.
Exactly.
Deb said this earlier in the show. You know, a team that could use a quarterback, but not going to be able. You know what? Let me take that back. Me and Deb, like I said, me and Deb talked about this, and you and I talked about this, and all of our crew talked about this. You know, a team that could draft a quarterback that could be sneaky good? New Orleans.
They need something.
And the pick that they pick 14, and the quarterback they could use 6'6" Bo Nix.
Oh, for sure. I mean, you get somebody that size in the pocket, you're not bringing him down without having 2 or 3 people on him.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got a cannon.
He does. And he's accurate.
And that's what New Orleans needs, is somebody accurate and deep.
Yeah. Yeah. They
haven't had somebody like that since, honestly, Drew Brees.
Mm-hmm. And his father, Patrick Nix, who played at Auburn, taught him everything he knows.
Exactly.
That's why Bo wears the same number.
Where else are you going to get a better school of thought than learning from Dad, who learned it in Auburn?
Mm-hmm. Playing in the SEC.
Exactly.
Playing in the SEC for many years. You know, Bo played at Auburn, wearing his dad's number.
And those boys know how to throw in Auburn. Look how many quarterbacks they've churned out.
Exactly. Now, here is the question I have. What do the Raiders do for their quarterback position? Because the name that comes to mind for me, and I can't believe I'm going to say this, is Michael Penix.
I can't believe you said it either.
I told you I can't believe I'm thinking this.
But they need somebody out there. I mean, the best idea they had went down and they shipped him out, and that was Jimmy G.
That was Jimmy Garoppolo. He was supposed to be their starter.
Yeah, now he's sitting in where? He's what, with LA?
Mm-hmm. He's gone. He's sitting behind Matthew Stafford. Garoppolo is 32. Stafford's going to be 37. What do you do?
You got to draft somebody. Now, I'll throw a curveball in it and say LA, Oakland, Las Vegas, take your pick. Same thing.
Yes.
We got too many teams moving around now.
Exactly.
Vegas is going to make a trade to move up the lineup. I'm going to throw you a curveball.
Really?
They're going to need to.
Who do they trade with?
Honestly, I could see them moving up to maybe 6 or 7.
So that would mean they switch with the Giants and or Tennessee. And I can see that with Tennessee because Tennessee is going to lean on Will Levis. But Tennessee could keep the pick and draft Joe Alt out of Notre Dame. The mountain of a man, that offensive line.
Yeah, and Tennessee needs a big beef up front.
Yeah, they do. Because they gave up a ton of sacks last year.
Too many.
Way too many.
Why do you think most quarterbacks don't want to play there anymore?
Mm-hmm.
They haven't had an offensive line in ages.
They get destroyed. They get absolutely destroyed.
They do.
I'll give you a second round pick who could fall up into the first round if the right quarterback needy team takes him. Spencer Rattler out of South Carolina.
Okay, then let's throw the curve in there. Where does he go?
Denver.
I could see that.
Denver.
Be a hell of an upgrade over Russell Wilson since he's gone.
So would Bo Nix.
True.
So would Bo Nix. But
that's going to be a cluster in Pittsburgh.
It is. Because you won't know who's going to start.
You won't know who's going to finish either.
You know what I think Pittsburgh should do? They'll never do this. Ship them both out and draft someone new.
I was about to say, you mean besides pull the plunger?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, go to the third round, and you got Michael Pratt out of Tulane, right? Redshirt senior. You got another redshirt senior in Joe Milton III from the Tennessee Volunteers. And then you got Sam Hartman, 6'1" out of Notre Dame. 3 redshirt seniors are available. Experienced quarterbacks are available.
And all 3 of them are solid.
Exactly. All three of them are very solid. The question I have is, even though I said his name earlier, we don't know where he's going to land. Spencer Rattler.
No, we got no idea where he's going to land. But I could see him going up in the order if it comes down to someone being that needy.
You know where, I'm going to be totally off with this, but I'll say it anyway. You know where he could land? Minnesota.
I don't see that being that far-fetched. I really don't. Minnesota needs a cannon for an arm back there.
You know who else needs a cannon for an arm? Atlanta.
True.
Because they fed 36-year-old Kirk Cousins a ton of money for one playoff win. One.
I still can't believe they went out and got 2 chains.
Me neither.
What the hell are they thinking?
I'll tell you, a wild card team who desperately, and I'm gonna rattle a lot of cages with this opinion. I'll tell you a team that desperately needs a solid, stable, I can't think of the word that I need. A solid, stable, durable. That's the word I'm looking for. Durable quarterback. Miami. The Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, because Tua's had his head caved in a lot.
Tua needs to step away.
He does. I hate to say it, but I see him getting rocked this year.
Yep.
Unless Miami finds a way to get that offensive line backed up, he's going to be gone by week 6.
And won't come back.
No.
And won't come back.
No.
And I can't say I blame him.
I've suffered enough concussions. I know what the boy's going through.
Oh, yeah. Miami could make a move for Spencer Rattler. They should make
smart
I think the Miami Dolphins should make a move for a quarterback and start him right now.
They'd be smart to.
Because Tua is not long for the team at all.
No.
He's not long. He's not long for the team.
But you also got to figure out what Mike McDaniels is going to want to do as well.
He wants to keep Tua.
That's the problem.
That's a big problem. That's a huge problem. Tua is not built for the NFL anymore. And I'm not saying that because he doesn't have the physical talent. He does. His head has been beaten up.
He took what? 2 sacks, 2 hard hits in 3 weeks to the dome? One of them was from the Jets.
And Tua's regressed.
He has.
Let's just be totally honest.
He has.
Tua has regressed. You know who else has regressed? And Deb is not going to like me for this opinion. She's going to yell at me. She's going to bark at me.
I'm going to want to be here for that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And I know this offense can be a powerhouse, but the person in charge has to get it back together, and that's Jalen Hurts.
They got to do something.
I mean, I want to see Jalen Hurts succeed. All right. Don't get it twisted. I just know what my eyes tell me.
Jalen Hurts needs a lot of support around him.
I'd like to be wrong in this case.
I can't.
And I'd really like to be wrong because they picked up Saquon Barkley.
But
Saquon Barkley is damaged goods.
Yeah, he is. He is.
Saquon Barkley is damaged goods.
Not just that, but he's still got a bit of an ego about him, too.
You had a durable running back in DeAndre Swift, and you didn't use him.
Look where he's ended up.
Oh, God. He's going to get misused and abused in Chicago.
But I'm going to tell you right now, the biggest thing Philadelphia needs is the biggest thing most of these teams have needed for the longest time, and that's an offensive line that can protect.
Offensive line. Offensive
and
line.
The only way Saquon is going to be effective is if they plug the gaps. Bust out the A gap, and he can end up getting yardage. But they can't do that.
We talked about, Deb and I did earlier in the show, about Tyler Guyton, the mountain of a man at Oklahoma.
He would be massive for any team that needs beef like that.
And I'll tell you the team that may wind up I'll tell you two teams that may wind up drafting him depending on how fast he goes. Philadelphia and San Francisco.
If there was one knock on San Fran last year, it was the offensive line. And it was the inconsistency of the offensive line.
Yeah.
Brock could do a lot of damage keeping plays alive, and that's what saved him from getting sacked as much as he did. But if you had an offensive line that could stack up better around him, he wouldn't need to have scrambled so much to make those plays.
Exactly. The mobility of Brock Purdy could be saved if they draft the bookend tackle that they need.
Exactly.
And you're going to have to draft another big left tackle because Trent Williams is 36. And yet he's going
to get roughed up.
But he's such an anomaly, though. He too was a legend at Oklahoma.
Even anomalies aren't safe from Father Time.
I know. Damn it. But he still moves people.
He can move everyone he wants, but if he ends up running into a forklift, he's going to get lifted up.
Yeah. One forklift lifting another. How do you like that?
Couple of elephants going at it.
Oh, God. We got a break. We got more stuff coming for you. Snowman in the morning. Back in a flash.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
IRS, open up.
The IRS is the most feared agency in the country and has the power to seize assets, garnish wages, and even put you in jail for back taxes and unfiled tax returns. Don't be a victim. Call Kick IRS right now and let us kick those IRS problems out of your life once and for all. Our powerful team of tax experts will fight hard for you and will not stop until we've resolved your tax problems on your terms. And if you qualify, we may even reduce or eliminate your tax debt altogether. No more sleepless nights wondering when the IRS is going to come after you. Take control of your tax problems today and make the phone call. We have an A rating with the Better Business Bureau, and we offer a 100% written guarantee, so there's nothing to lose and everything to gain. The consultation is free and the phone call is free. So pick up the phone right now and kick those IRS problems out of your life once and for all.
Call 800-807-8188. That's 800-807-8188. 800-807-8188.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like the high five strangers got, game-winning interception, first down, just a nice solid tackle. If you're in arm's length, you will be swapping skin with this extra berth. You see, he knows SeatGeek got him a great deal on tickets, so he can focus on what he does best, smacking palms. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
The original Think drink is back. Level up with proven ingredients formulated to crush your competition. No gimmicks, no jitters, no messing around. Just high-potency results that keep you moving day or night. There's a new nerd in town, and we came to play. Nerd Focus. Smarter than energy.
Attention, first responders from across the country. If you were in New York to help during the 9/11 tragedy or during the 11 months afterward, and later developed any of these cancers or respiratory illnesses, you may be entitled to a substantial settlement. A $10 billion compensation fund is in place for 9/11 cancer victims. Do not wait to file your claim. Call now and speak with one of our attorneys. The call is confidential and free. Or reach us online at firstrespondersettlements.com.
This is an important notice to consumers facing $10,000 or more in credit card debt, medical bills, or other unsecured debt. You may not be required to pay it all back because there are special programs now in effect that will significantly reduce the amount you will owe. Accredited Debt Relief has established a special hotline for you to call and learn what savings you qualify for. For this free information, call the Accredited Debt Relief Hotline now.
Call 800-418-8650. Call now.
During bad weather, driving can become downright dangerous.
What's your emergency, please?
Trust Battle Vision Storm, the revolutionary glare reduction glasses that turn your sight bright during bad weather at night or during the day. Watch your ordinary vision become extraordinary. Battle Vision Storm uses light optimizing lenses that block blue rays so you see clearly in heavy rain at night or blinding snow during the day. Heavy rain, snow, sleet, or fog can make it impossible to drive. Not with Battle Vision Storm. Get your Battle Vision Storm for only $19.99. But wait, due to rising costs and supply chain shortages, this may be your last chance to get your very own at this low price. There is a strict limit of 4 Battle Vision Storm per order while supplies last. Don't wait, order now.
Call 1-800-483-6319 or visit battlevisionstorm.com. So call 1-800-483-6319 now.
Hey, Toe Man, we're waiting for you. This is Snowman in the Morning.
Hey everybody, Snowman here. Looking for the best way to experience live events? Well, SeatGeek has you covered. With just a few taps on your phone, you can find the best seats for concerts, sports, theater, and more. Don't miss out on unforgettable moments. Download the SeatGeek app today and get ready for an experience like no other. Each ticket is vetted for authenticity and ranked on a 1 to 10 scale. And right now, if you sign up and use the code Snowman, you will get $20 off of your first purchase. That's only through the power of SeatGeek, where fans can fan. Are you ready to upgrade your coffee game? Prepare for an invasion of flavor with Invader Coffee. It's the caffeinated elixir that fuels champions, the blend that pushes boundaries. Whether you're battling deadlines or exploring uncharted territories, Invader Coffee has your back. Join the invasion at invadercoffee.com and taste the difference for yourself. Use the code Snowman for 15% off your first order. Invader Coffee, veteran owned.
Ready to generate more leads from your website, Google, and your social channels without having to spend money on ads? Our platform provides you with an easy-to-use communication stream that sucks in free leads from your website, Google, Facebook, and Instagram, enabling you to reply and convert them into customers from your computer or from our mobile app. We'll even turn your inbound calls into text message conversations, so you'll never miss another lead again. Once you've converted a satisfied customer, you can shoot them a Google review request with a click of a button, which will explode your positive reviews and increase your position in search engines. The system will also pull new reviews from Google and Facebook right into your conversation stream, where you can read and reply. Jumpstart your business by getting started today.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Man, what a show we have had today on this Friday, and this is going to be the norm. What's not going to be the norm is a brand new set that I've been tinkering with, and y'all will see that first thing Monday. All right? So Monday, we will make the official jump back to 8 a.m., and it will be at 8 a.m. like it was this morning, and it'll be 8 a.m. all the way through. Let's finish this off the right way. There was someone I didn't have a chance to get with last week, and it's my own fault. Not this time.
And now, the transporter to Hades, the reformer of hooker whores, and the bronze god, the one, the only, the legendary Chris Bay.
You see him every Saturday morning on Baseline, and you see him every Friday morning to close the show here. It's the Boom Shakalaka. Here's the star there we're in, Mr. Chris Bass, a very dear friend of mine. Good morning, sir. Great to have you back.
Good morning, brother. Always good morning to you, Rain Man. Of course, shout out to Cole Johnson, the mad scientist, Wise El Jefe. Always appreciate them always, and always being a part of here. And a good morning and / good afternoon, Boom Shakalaka to you.
Man, it's great to always be with you. And you always say, we let you be you. So be you. What you got for us this week?
Thank you, my brother. Well, first of all, I am delighted and thrilled about the Chicago Sky drafting Angel Reese and Camila Cardoso, which is both in the blue for me because I don't catch too many WNBA games. It's not that I don't watch it, just I don't watch it. I mean, I'm not to be disrespectful. And I've seen some games over the years, obviously, but I don't follow it. But now that they've gotten these two in particular, I got to put in, I don't know if I'm going to go get some tickets because I read some of the tickets already sold out to some degree, but I will get the paraphernalia, we'll get the cap if they have a large array of garment to fit my fat behind. I will get some shirts and things of that nature, and definitely sign on. And also, Teresa Witherspoon, being the coach of the Chicago Sky, with her legendary pedigree, I think drafting those two, they put the league on notice.
They did. They really did, because the guys and I were talking about it. We reviewed it earlier in the week, and we did a little bit of it today. That the Indiana Fever drafting Caitlin Clark was the piece everybody knew that the Fever needed to rebuild their franchise. And me being close to Indianapolis, the hoopla here was crazy. But also being a few hours away from Chicago, when Angel Reese, when Camila Cardoso, then Angel Reese were drafted 2 and 7 in this WNBA draft, my phone blew up with all my friends from Chicago saying, "Are you going to do play-by-play for the Sky this summer like you did WNBA last year while you continue to convalesce at home?" The answer is yes.
A hearty yes. Absolutely. And especially when we've now seen the trajectory shift of the WNBA. They need to work on their contracts and give them more money. It is very sad for them. What I think one of the highest contracts was like 73,000, something like that. Mm-hmm. And look at what the NBA is getting. So we've seen the numbers of how many people were viewed watching the NC2A finals. The women's game, have bigger numbers, eyeballs on the screen. So there's no more excuses these days when it comes to a league and a movement that's obviously taking steam. They have to do right by these players and pay them the market value, because we got to change it, because the game is changing literally. And we've seen what Caitlin Clark alone, just with her boom to the top and trajectory shift of who she was, playing for Iowa, obviously, and all these people coming forward to watch her play and selling out arenas and the 3-point shot and everything else. I told you, I would love to see in the NBA weekend, All-Star weekend, say it's Steph Curry and Caitlin Clark, let them go at it, or Caitlin Clark versus anybody. From the NBA, I put anybody up there. It will be tour de force to see that happen. And it's not like you can't when it comes to giving the ladies more money. You just won't. And I think there's a travesty to the talent and to the teams involved.
I have a solution. And the Dallas Mavericks were the first team to do this, to put their money where their mouth is in terms of supporting their WNBA counterparts in the Dallas Wings. You got the Chicago Sky with the Chicago Bulls. You got the Indiana Pacers with the Indiana Fever. Just a couple of nearby examples. Man, do you know, even with, especially with Chicago, the Bulls have led the league in sellouts at the United Center for some 20 odd years. Since the United Center opened, it's been sold out. And that was 1994, 95. They can easily put their money where their mouth is to help these ladies get not only more money, they can help them get more advertising. They can help market them toward the women, because when I did some studying earlier in the week, it was the men that usually take in the WNBA games. And I covered the Chicago Sky for 4 years. The only time the women truly came out is when the games were big in the Indiana, Connecticut Sun, and all those guys, and they were playing at the Rosemont Horizon. This can easily be solved. The marketing can easily be solved, and the money can easily be solved. They can do it, but like you said earlier, Base, they're not willing to do it or won't do it at all. And that's sad.
It's beyond sad. It's similar to when we talked about the NC2A and athletes getting paid, and now with the NIL and transfer portal. I mean, give me this conversation, is similar, if not the same, to pay. And again, like I said before, you just had a good idea about advertisement, things like that. They're not going to miss it. See, this is what gets me about greed. If you just one of them greedy mother hubbards, and you're the person that was back in the day, hey man, can you give me half your sandwich? No, man, get away from me. And then still don't want to share anything. It's a good looking peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Can I have a half, man? Because I didn't get my lunch today. Oh man, get away from me. And you're still selfish, even to the point of an adulthood. So having said all that, all you want to do is be fair. Nobody wants to switch places. These people in power don't want to switch places because they couldn't handle it, first and foremost. And then when it's reversed and it's done to you, all of a sudden it's a tragedy. So if you're able to have some semblance of doing the right thing, some semblance of a heart, you would do right by these women professional players, because they it's given, it's night in, night out. They do the work. It's hard work and it pays off. Let them get the money they deserve.
Let's talk about the attendance. And the attendance for the viewership for the women's game, the Elite Eight in Albany, New York, and the Final Four in Cleveland. 14.5 million watched the Elite Eight, both games, and 14.5 million watched the Iowa LSU rematch. That broke records and put any Elite Eight the men put together to shame. And of course, the championship game, 24 million at its peak watched Iowa battle South Carolina and all of the future WNBA stars just in that game alone.
Yes.
Why can't the women have the same privilege as the men? And that is to play before at least 50,000. And I'll bring up an example we talked about the last time. The Iowa Hawkeyes women's basketball team put 55,000 people in an open air stadium. I'm talking about Kinnick Stadium, wonderful stadium. If you could put 55,000 people in Kinnick Stadium, who's to say that you can't put 70,000 in State Farm Stadium in Phoenix, Arizona?
You can. It's just that simple. The numbers don't lie, as they say. You can do it. But again, the powers that be, would you want them to do it? And that should not even be a stalemate or a stopping point. But with some people, and I hate to say it, in 2024 and beyond, you still have male chauvinist people who believe that a woman should stay in their place. They're lucky they got that. Let them settle with that. And that type of mentality going around in the boardroom. So when you still have that going on, it becomes a complete uphill battle to do what's right by the league and by the players involved and everybody else, because again, it can happen. At the turn of a dime, it can happen. And it's not like it's an impossible task. It's a task that they don't want to do. And that's where the whole thing about it becoming sad, it's not even sad, it's just downright petty.
It is petty. I've been a fan of women's basketball since their first Final Four in 1982. The first two was held at the Scope. And every year it's been at an arena. I mean, the arenas sometimes get smaller and smaller. The men, after 1996, stopped holding them in arenas because they saw the success at the then Hoosier Dome, later RCA Dome, and a couple of other domes. Matter of fact, the first dome that they hosted in was 1982 in the Superdome. North Carolina, Georgetown, the record numbers they had there, 60,000. If you could put 60,000 people in the Superdome, and of course they planned it in advance, but that was the first dome they held it in all the way up until they had it at the RCA Dome in 1991. You could have easily moved the women's Final Four from Cleveland to Indianapolis, because it's not that far away, and you could put 60,000 plus, if not 70, at Lucas Oil Stadium. You did it for All-Star Saturday night. You could do it for the women's Final Four. It would have been an easy move.
It is an easy move. And you harken back to Georgetown, North Carolina. I love that game because that's when I really fell in love with basketball during that time, when I was a mere youth and when I had hair. And so to look at all that coming to fruition and watching that game, just legendary coaches like the towering figure of the late, great John Thompson from Georgetown and Dean Smith from North Carolina at the time. You just know then it was an epic battle. Even if it was a novice, you knew you were watching something special. And the emergence of one Michael Jordan with the last shot during that game. And when you look at it's once again the trajectory of basketball, say from the 80s to where we are now, it's a wonderful sport. It should be obviously watched and be a part of and things like that. And sometimes I think it loses its purity because it goes through businesses and everything else. And sometimes it takes the purity out of it. But if you're a pure person at heart, you still watch it because of that purity that's still there for the game itself. And so it's funny you mentioned about, of course, South Carolina. I am so happy that Dawn Staley is getting her just due. Dawn Staley has always been that woman. To see her, and once again, we didn't notice until people found out, or people that, of course, been keeping monitor of her, losing her starting five to the WNBA draft. And of course, you factor in, of course, the transfer portal and everything else, had to start all over again.
Mm-hmm.
Start all over again, and still went undefeated with a record of 3 years, 109-3?
Yep.
Incredible. And so the woman deserves all the praise. As a matter of fact, they go back to her archives. She appeared on the show Martin years ago.
Mm-hmm.
It was Martin's character, and his buddies going up against her, and I think it was Teresa Witherspoon and Lisa Leslie, people like that. It was fun.
Mm-hmm.
It was fun to watch, and so you're bringing that back up. So everything that she has done has now come to the point where she's getting her just due. And like I said, for someone, and the list is so long of her accomplishments,
right.
One thing comes to mind to be the Naismith Player of the Year in college, and then you fast forward to Naismith Coach of the Year, which you're showing the trajectory. Again, that's my favorite trajectory for today, boys and girls, to show that from when she was a player to even to becoming a college coach. The knowledge she has is incredible. Her motivation that she gives to her players is, I think, unmatched. And yes, she is in the GOAT conversation. She is the GOAT. She is the GOAT of all time.
She is. And you mentioned her accomplishments, not just as a coach, but as a player. And it's rare in women's basketball to see those kind of accomplishments from player to coach. But as you said, the WNBA wiped out her starting five from a year ago. And then she had to start all over, use the transfer portal, do some recruiting. And the next thing you know, she and the Gamecocks are rolling through the season. And then they figure out Iowa, and they put the game away in the third quarter to complete an undefeated season. Tennessee's done it with the late great Pat Summitt, of course, Gino Auriemma with Connecticut, and now you can add Dawn Staley and South Carolina to that list. An incredible accomplishment by Dawn Staley, and she is in the GOAT conversation as far as coaches go, to do what she did. Have the WNBA wipe out a stellar class, and then have this team roll through the season undefeated. Incredible. I loved covering this season. 'Cause it was so not just for South Carolina, but for Iowa, for UCLA, USC with Juju Watkins, and she's going to be a great one. Women's basketball has gone through a renaissance. And if you want to hop aboard right now, this is ground level, even though it's a renaissance. This is ground level. You better hop aboard the bandwagon right now because it's going to grow quickly.
I totally agree wholeheartedly. And there have been speculation, of course, rumors, innuendo about possibly Dawn Staley getting an opportunity to coach, say, back in the WNBA or in the NBA itself. So the NBA thing is tricky because, once again, what I said before earlier about male chauvinists, and some players don't want to even talk to ladies when it comes to them being women of authority. And you're going to be the head coach, that's going to be a problem. So it shouldn't be a problem because Teresa Witherspoon had done some work with the Pelicans, and you go with others who have done work on teams over the years. But again, you talk about a head coach position. Okay, you can be an assistant and a specialist and stuff like that, but a head coach in the NBA, I don't know. It would be nice because it shouldn't be about the sex. It should be about, of course, the X's and O's and what that coach can do for that said team. I think that would be a marvelous breakthrough for anybody to take a chance on someone who happens to be a woman, but her brain when it comes to basketball is just uncanny. And so you would think we'd take the same and apply it to a team. I don't know. I don't know if Coach Staley wants to make that move. Maybe she's comfortable where she is at South Carolina. I don't know. But for where she is right now, if anybody else was calling to beckon her services, I would at least say, if I was consulting her, at least let's talk to see what they're talking about. But at the same time, just the fact that having a conversation with her shows you the strength and the knowledge she could bring to any team.
One of the names that comes to mind for me in recent memory of a woman who's done some work with an NBA team is Becky Hammon. She was a longtime assistant with the San Antonio Spurs under Greg Popovich. And in fact, for a while, under his tutelage, she was getting ready to be the next head coach. But then when that word got out, when that word leaked out, didn't you notice the NBA kind of step in and quell that and go, no, we don't want that to happen? They challenged Coach Popovich and eventually got him to back off, which is a travesty to me because she's the perfect next head coach for them. So all of a sudden she takes a deal with the Las Vegas Aces, coaches them to 2 consecutive championships. So I wouldn't be surprised if her phone rings again from Coach Popovich to say, don't be the assistant. I want you to be my successor.
Again, that'll be a game changer. And sometimes you just have to say, everybody, get out of my way and let me do what I have to do. And sometimes, despite what people think, despite what the NBA thinks and others involved, we're talking about basketball. When people inject, of course, sex and race and things like that, it gets in the way of progress. And again, talking about just the basic X and O's and success rate that a particular person has had. So who's to say they can't install that into a team? And once again, go back to you said before about Becky Hammon, who literally was growing up coach-wise with Pop in the San Antonio Spurs organization. So it's a natural fit. But because of her being a woman, all of a sudden we had to back off and no, we can't have that. And those people bother me the most because you can't separate this from that. It's like the old rap song said, you can get with this or you can get with that, as Black Sheep once said. So you can do that if you want to. People are, I believe, afraid of change. They get maudlin. They like what they are. They don't want to have change. And change is inevitable whether you like it or not. Change will come your way whether you don't want it to happen. But that's life. So
it is.
And we talk about getting on board. Yeah, get on board the change train, and you just might surprise yourself. So if people like Becky Hammon or Dawn Staley were to get the call to have a conversation about becoming a NBA coach or things of that nature, it's worth the conversation because it's worth the person you're talking to across the table. It's worth it. And again, with these resumes, you got to take them seriously, obviously.
I was listening to Maggie and Perloff on formerly CBS, now Infinity, I beg your pardon, radio network. And Maggie Gray made a great point when John Calipari stepped down from Kentucky and then later got hired at Arkansas, and the question was raised immediately: who would be the candidate, the perfect candidate to take over at Kentucky? Maggie Gray said, "Why don't you call Don Staley at South Carolina? See if she'll A, answer the phone, and B, if she does answer the phone, what are you willing to offer?" She made a great point with that when she just said Dawn Staley, and my brain started to turn upside down. Why wouldn't it be a great fit? Why wouldn't it work?
Because again, I said people are racist, sexist, and they don't want to make that move. And you go in that situation with college guys throwing the boosters. Maybe some boosters don't want a woman to come on board. So you got to fight these type of things if that's going to be the play. But if the boosters want to win, and of course that's what they want when they give this money, to make sure these organizations like the football team or basketball team, whatever, they want to win and make sure these college coaches, for example, their salaries are taken care of. Look at this woman's resume. Again, going back to that. How can you not win?
Right.
You're going to win something. And just might take you all the way. And what you mentioned about John Calipari going to Arkansas. So my beloved Bulls, even though I can't tell you who's on the team these days, but I did watch the game with the play-in, the NBA play-in versus the Heat. And the Hawks, I'm sorry, they won 131-116. They played the Hawks. They're going to play the Heat coming up after that win.
Right. They play them today. They play them tonight.
Right. Exactly. I was very impressed by what I saw. They are a knockout team, and I wouldn't mind watching them to see how further they get. The only reason that Coach Billy Donovan has a job, I think, is because of the plan. I think the only reason because he's a glorified NBA college coach. That's it. So when the whole thing came up about University of Kentucky, I thought he'd be a good fit. Yeah, go back to college. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to get into the promised land. He's lucked out with this situation. Had it not been for the plan, it just would have a losing season.
Yes.
At least the play-in gives him I guess more borrowed time. I just don't see him as the coach going further. He's a good X&O college coach.
Yeah.
College. I mean, and that's just some people want to make the move to the NBA, and some have and some haven't, and it's a whole different thing. And I'm sorry. I mean, you go back in the day when PJ Carlissimo, who was the former coach at Seton Hall, he goes to the NBA and gets his neck strangled by Latrell Sprewell because you can't holler at a grown man. You can't unless you get ready to knuckle up and guard your grill. It's not like back in college where you get away with that stuff. And it's like the late great Bobby Knight, who at one point was a special assistant advisor to Isaiah Thomas. He was a coach at Indiana Pacers. Now Bobby Knight knew his lane.
Yes.
And the much fervor in the feet, he knew at 6'6" and 260 pounds from change, whatever, he knew that he would get his clock clean if he became an NBA coach, shouting at grown men. He knew that.
He knew it.
So he stayed where he was. So he could have all that range and domain and the hollering at his players, stuff like that. So, and not saying that Billy Donovan does, I don't know what he does to motivate. I don't personally see it, but some people just don't have the move to make college the transferable point to become an NBA coach. I just don't see it with him at all. Not at all.
I don't see it with Billy Donovan either. I don't know how he survived all those years in Oklahoma City with the rift that grew quickly after 2012 between Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook. And then Kevin Durant leaves and Billy Donovan is still there coaching Westbrook. And of course, Billy Donovan gets run out of town the year that Westbrook wins the most valuable player. And then Scott Brooks is next. He gets run out of town. Steven Adams gets run out next. And when you see coaches like that try to transfer their college experience to the pro experience, yes, some survive. But then when you saw with Oklahoma City from 2012 to 2016, that team disintegrated. And they turned on Billy Donovan.
Oklahoma City, I think, could have been Golden State. Had they stayed the course, had they continued on, because that could have been Golden State. They could have been Golden State because, first of all, their IQ, they were the youngest team at one point in the league. I think the oldest person was 26, 27 at the time. They had the wherewithal to really be dominant and keep going forward. And if Billy Donovan was able to coach himself out of college and into the NBA, because he had like a college feel with that young team. So he was kind of like in familiar territory. So had they stayed the course, they would at least got probably 2 to 3 chips. The way they were going, had they stayed the course. Because everybody was young. You can grow with the team. Billy Donovan was a young man. So they would all grown together. And so when Kevin Durant goes to Golden State, again, had OKC stayed the course, they would have been Golden State before Golden State.
I agree. I absolutely agree. But there was one problem. Billy Donovan had to rein in Russell Westbrook fast, especially the year that Kevin Durant had gotten injured, which was the year after Durant won the Most Valuable Player. When Durant's injury happened and took him out for the season, that team became Russell Westbrook's. And if you notice, during that time, Billy Donovan backed off. That was the time he needed to rein Russell Westbrook in. Had he done that, and had they had stayed the course, Durant would never have left. Steven Adams would never have left. Serge Ibaka would never have left. Because remember, Serge Ibaka won a championship with Toronto in 2019. But he had to leave Oklahoma City to do it. Instead of stepping in quickly and bringing his team together and teaching Russell Westbrook how to grow with the team and keep the team together, he stepped back and allowed the team to disintegrate.
And the whole thing about that, when you have a team and you have a star player and you build the team around the star player, everybody knows that. They go back to when they were Seattle Supersonics with Kevin Durant. I remember those uniforms. I used to love those uniforms back in the day before they moved to OKC. So historically, he is the franchise player. He's the star. And what happens to someone like Westbrook, you have to know your role. It's not like your role is not great, but somebody got to be Ramen to the Batman. You can't have two Batmans. It is impossible. I mean, even way back, go back in the time with Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen.
Yes.
You know your roles, so you know who to defer to. And the cool thing about what Westbrook could have done was realize his role as Robin. He wanted to be Batman too. So that type of alpha one going back and forth like that is not your team. It was Durant's team. And so, and just real quick to clarify things, even though it was a long time ago, Screaming A. Smith was one of the harshest critics to go after Kevin Durant when he left OKC to go to Golden State, which I felt was unnecessary. So if that's the case, you have to go back to every person that was traded, every person that want to go to another team. So you have to go after Charles Barkley, you'll go after Scottie Pippen, you got to go after everybody who went from one team to another to try to get the chip. And so I just felt like, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Exactly. I mean, why the recent name that you mentioned during that time, why didn't he go after Charles Barkley after 7 years in Philadelphia? He moves to Phoenix. And comes close to winning a title there. Why didn't he criticize Clyde Drexler after 12 years in Portland? He goes to Houston and wins 2 titles there. It's like you said, Base. It was unnecessary for Stephen A. to go there with Kevin Durant.
But it was amazing because one time Screaming A was on the show and Kevin Durant's mother was being interviewed. And after the interview, she looked him dead in the eye and said, you know what? I did not like how you came after my son. She gave him the riot act. He was like, yes, ma'am. Kept his head down and everything else. And that was a beautiful sight. After that, he didn't go after Kevin Durant anymore. As a matter of fact, if you ever see the documentary Point Gods that deals with all the point guards came out of New York, it's produced by Kevin Durant. And who's in it? Screaming A. Smith.
Screaming A. We got brothers, we got to learn to come together instead of trying to pull everybody apart. You know, that's something I talk about a lot in my series, Diary of a Mad Snowman. That's something I talk about a lot because I am a big time advocate of men's health, men's rights, and men coming together. It's got to happen, especially in the world of sports. We're out of time. Got to bring the boys back to wrap it up. But Chris Bass, always a pleasure. You're a national treasure. I thank you for coming on, my friend. I appreciate it.
Well, look, brother. Like I said before, I told somebody, like, how tall is Brian Snow? He's 6'12", and there's none damn thing you can do about it. The man knows everything about sports. That's why I call him Rain Man. I love you more, man. Always an honor to be here. Thank you for letting me be myself again.
Thank you very much, my friend. Thank you.
And now, the transporter to Hades, the reformer of hooker whores, and the bronze god, the one, the only, the legendary Chris Bass.
If I was 6'12", that would make me 7 feet tall. That would really ensure my name is Tall Man around the house. And maybe I would have gotten some athletic skills to go along with it. The boys are back to help me wrap it up after this.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free and will even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
IRS, open up. The IRS is the most feared agency in the country and has the power to seize assets, garnish wages, and even put you in jail for back taxes and unfiled tax returns. Don't be a victim. Call Kick IRS right now and let us kick those IRS problems out of your life once and for all. Our powerful team of tax experts will fight hard for you and will not stop until we've resolved your tax problems on your terms. And if you qualify, we may even reduce or eliminate your tax debt altogether. No more sleepless nights wondering when the IRS is going to come after you. Take control of your tax problems today and make the phone call. We have an A rating with the Better Business Bureau, and we offer a 100% written guarantee, so there's nothing to lose and everything to gain. The consultation is free and the phone call is free. So pick up the phone right now and kick those IRS problems out of your life once and for all.
Call 800-807-8188. That's 800-807-8188. 800-807-8188.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like the High Five Strangers guy. Game-winning interception. First down. Just a nice, solid tackle. If you're in arm's length, you will be swapping skin with this extra berth. You see, he knows SeatGeek got him a great deal on tickets, so he can focus on what he does best, smacking palms. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
The original Think Drink is back. Level up with proven ingredients formulated to crush your competition. No gimmicks, no jitters, no messing around. Just high-potency results that keep you moving day or night. There's a new nerd in town, and we came to play. Nerd Focus. Smarter than energy.
Attention, first responders from across the country. If you were in New York to help during the 9/11 tragedy or during the 11 months afterward, and later developed any of these cancers or respiratory illnesses, you may be entitled to a substantial settlement. A $10 billion compensation fund is in place for 9/11 cancer victims. Do not wait to file your claim. Call now and speak with one of our attorneys. The call is confidential and free. Or reach us online at firstrespondersettlements.com.
This is an important notice to consumers facing $10,000 or more in credit card debt, medical bills, or other unsecured debt. You may not be required to pay it all back because there are special programs now in effect that will significantly reduce the amount you will owe. Accredited Debt Relief has established a special hotline for you to call and learn what savings you qualify for. For this free information, call the Accredited Debt Relief Hotline now.
Call 800-418-8650. Call now.
During bad weather, driving can become downright dangerous.
What's your emergency, please?
Trust Battle Vision Storm, the revolutionary glare reduction glasses that turn your sight bright during bad weather at night or during the day. Watch your ordinary vision become extraordinary. Battle Vision Storm uses light optimizing lenses that block blue rays so you see clearly in heavy rain at night or blinding snow during the day. Heavy rain, snow, sleet, or fog can make it impossible to drive. Not with Battle Vision Storm. Get your Battle Vision Storm for only $19.99. But wait, due to rising costs and supply chain shortages, this may be your last chance to get your very own at this low price. There is a strict limit of 4 Battle Vision Storm per order while supplies last. Don't wait, order now.
Call 1-800-483-6319 or visit battlevisionstorm.com. So call 1-800-483-6319 now.
Hey, Toe Man, we're waiting for you. This is Snowman in the Morning.
It's no secret. Today's consumer wants convenience and likes things on the go. They want to be listened to and receive instant solutions to their queries. This can often make or break the customer service experience. That's why it makes convenient interactions easy for you. Whether your customers want to connect with you via text, Facebook Messenger, Google, Instagram, or website, all messages now come to the one easy-to-use inbox, so you don't have to check a dozen different sites from the platform. From here, you can send SMS or email, answer questions, schedule appointments, take payments, and close more deals simply by messaging back and forth with your customers. When someone searches for a business like yours, they will look at your reviews. So unless you have more positive reviews, they'll choose someone else. Locke makes it easy to collect hundreds or even thousands of reviews from your customers. Simply send a review invitation or create automation that requests customer reviews right after the sale, or maybe right after a service is completed. It will take them 30 seconds or less to leave the review. Now those reviews will show up on the search result and increase your ranking that matters most. Plus, our advanced reporting will show you exactly where your leads are coming from and if your website or ads are doing their job. So why are you waiting? Put your business way in front of your competitors, get more leads, convert more of those leads to paying customers by getting started with today.
Join Ryan McCarthy.
I became a Jets fan because Kermit the Frog was my favorite Muppet because he was green, and the Jets wore green. That's how I became a Jets fan.
And Dustin Henry.
ESPN is cashing all in on let's pay a few personalities and we'll just kind of fill in the gaps.
As they walk you through all of the world of sports from their perspective.
The Albany Empire, it's a literal circus.
No credentials required. Where, Ryan, say the tag.
Where you don't need a press pass to talk sports.
Live every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central on YouTube and where you can find podcasts.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Welcome back, folks. Thank you, Chris Bass. Thank you, Deb Whitcas, Jake Silva, Kyle Senra, for joining us on this massive Friday program. You saw the new intro. We got a couple more toys to reveal to you before we get out of here for the day. And we talked NBA play-in round and why it should be eliminated, all kinds of stuff. We're back at 8 a.m. Monday morning, working on the schedule for Sunday afternoon baseball, as well as the WNBA and As Shane said yesterday, we're going to be quite busy. And Shane told me during the break that he had something for me. What?
So, as we were talking about yesterday, dealing with the appalling contracts of the WNBA, and we were trying to figure out how some of them might be supplemented. Obviously, endorsement deals are going to be a huge thing.
Yeah, they are.
The rumor mill has already swirled about how big Caitlin Clark's deal is with Nike.
Uh-oh.
We are talking near $20 million.
Oh, she's set for life. She got her NIL deals at Iowa, a $20 million deal with Nike. She's set.
Yeah, Bleacher Report came out with this one. During an appearance on Thursday's episode of Up and Adams, Shams Kariana of The Athletic in Stadium set up Clark's deal. I'm told it's well beyond 10 million. I think it's fair to say that it's above 20 million. Now, how far above, we'll see when we get the final numbers. I'm not one to speculate, but she also added that Nike was one of the 3 finalists in the running for Clark's signature shoe. She reportedly had a pitch with Under Armour to be part of the Curry brand, and with Golden State Warriors star point guard Steph Curry FaceTiming into the meeting. Adidas also apparently met with the former Iowa star, but an 8-figure deal from Nike was too sweet to pass up.
If I get an 8-figure deal from Nike, I ain't passing it up. Give me an advance to help me and my family move.
So the endorsement deals are out there. It's just a matter of getting to them.
I want to see what Angel Reese signs with. And this is the exact subject, the WNBA contracts that me and Base talked about, just last segment.
Don't you just love it when I know how to tie things in?
All right. I'm being told that we got to go, and we better go.
Done.
We're back at it Monday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern. For the Dawg, for Vicala, for Cole Johnson, our executive producer. Thank you all for joining us. Also for Deb Whitcas, who's a contributor now, as well as Chris Bass, who joined us, Kyle Senra. Thank you, everybody, for helping us out. We appreciate you. Have a great weekend. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move. And always remember, if your dreams don't scare you, they are simply not big enough. Dream big, do bigger. We are, and we hope you all are too. So long, everybody.